Alrighty. Welcome in, everybody! Welcome in, Tresh! Welcome in, Cozy! Welcome in, Golf! Welcome in, Jolly! Welcome in, Anna! Get ratioed! Golf sniped you! Welcome in, Sat Boost! That's fair. I also just like her art, personally. Welcome in, Abyss! Welcome in, Dave! Welcome in, Nugget! Welcome in, Dicipta! And thank you so much for the 17 months, man. Welcome in, Sunny! Been taking a break from Arknights lately, so I associated the term caster with the Fate class. Caster, Medea of Colchis. What I do really love about Fate, by the way. Oh, welcome in Yen, welcome in Hexcelsus, welcome in Jesto, welcome in Wise Girl. Let me actually turn on the BGM. One of the things that I absolutely love about Fate is originally it was supposed to be Saber, Lancer, Archer, Caster, Killer, Rider. But then they went, oh, Killer, that's not safe. We've got to change it to Berserker for the English speakers. No, it wasn't supposed to be Shielder. That was something they did at least also change in the JP. I just, I'm drawing a blank on what the last one is. Welcome in, Sayo! Lovely to have you! Preparing for company Christmas party. Have fun, guys. Hello, South. Welcome in, Stan. Welcome in, Monster. How are you going, everybody? Good Luto Day. Good Luto Day to you as well, Choo-choo. Alrighty. I've set up a poll in YouTube about whether you like Monster or Priestess the most. If you go over to vote, please also like the stream. It helps me massively. Buddy, you can't make me have a coughing fit immediately after I finish self-shilling. I'm good, how are you? I'm very, very good. Assassin? Yeah, Assassin was supposed to be Killer and Berserker. Right. It was Caster, Killer, Rider, Berserker. And they changed Killer to Assassin for some stupid reason. Vote where? Over in the YouTube. There's a YouTube poll of if you like Monster or Priestess more. Please vote. But no, I'm doing very well, Sayo. I went Christmas shopping today. I got all of the gifts for my family. And much more importantly, the medicine I'm taking for my horrendous scars is actually working. And holy shit, I'm so happy. Have you seen Nasty Skills Kit not long ago? No. I want to clarify, there are a few casters on this list. I don't know the kits for. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Thank you for the anonymous gift sub. Well, welcome in, Topaz! Lovely to have you. Speaking of Fate Caster, FGO about to release Grandcaster Duel. I don't know what that means. But no, there are a few casters I don't really know of. For example, Mantra. Like, I know vaguely about Mantra. Where is she? I'm blind. There we are. So I know vaguely about Mantra, but I've never used her. I don't know her kit. I just know she's roughly amazing. So I'm generally not 100% aware of all of the CN stuff. But no, thank you very much for the anonymous gift sub. That's very sweet of you. She's SSS. I thought that was Radian. South, it's even earlier than last time. It's 1:45. Welcome in, Dark Prince! I wanted to start a little bit earlier so I could just... Yeah, that's all. Oh, SSS? Oh, you mean tier. No, right. I thought you were saying she was an SSS welfare. I'm stupid. Welcome in, Arthur! Welcome in, Pizza Boy. Lovely to have you both. How are you going? And no, I probably won't be rating Mantra in the top 5 just because I haven't used her. I know she's extremely good. I don't know she's top 5. 222 subs remaining? Yeah, that's not happening. Where's Serta? Serta is a guard first. She's a boss-killing guard who does arts damage, not a caster. I'm in your walls now? Oh. Okay, I had a joke, but I keep having coughing fits, so never mind that. Yeah, not happening? Exactly. Daha, be responsible. Do not individually try to hit that. She's a caster? No. An example of they are a caster is Reed Alter. Reed Alter is a caster who happens to heal. When you deploy Reed Alter, it's because you want arts damage from a ranged unit. It's not because you want fucking healing. So, yeah, as you can see, we have a nice 5 rows of casters. Exactly 5 rows of casters. It ended up being very, very neat. Where's Wishadel? Why would Wishadel be on this list? She's not a caster. And her arts fragility, exactly. Like, the others are healers who happen to do damage of her archetype. Reed is a caster who happens to heal. if I'm being so deadass. But no, lots of casters today. We're halfway through. Oh, thank you very much, Daha. That's very sweet of you. Hi, Souther. Welcome in, Golden. Welcome in, Reptren. Hello, hello. Reed Ultra is my favorite burst DPS. That's what I'm saying. You don't use Reed Ultra as a healer. You use her as a DPS. Tragodia honorary caster? No, no. Reed is the... I will usually make exceptions for one operator max per class. Reed is distinct in the sense of she feels like a caster who heals rather than a healer who casts. Can we get Lapland as an honorary caster? We already have Lapland Alta, who is a chain caster. Who is a, drone caster? Mech Accord, that's the one. And no, thank you very much, Daha. That's very sweet of you. My favorite caster, Amiya. My favorite healer, Amiya. My favorite god, Amiya. Future god, Amiya. Future every other class, Amiya. Well, skill issue. Welcome in, Lysiris! Where's Rosmontis? Rosmontis is only a caster in integrated strategies. That doesn't count. You said to build Reed Alta because she's good. I thought about a healer, not DPS. So, the way Reed Alta is good is that when you activate her S3, every enemy in range explodes and dies, and all of your units cannot fall below full HP. That is... because Reed heals a percentage of the damage she does, and she nukes the entire stage. The healing is really good, but it's a side effect. Welcome in, Joshua! When will you get a bride dress? I take it you haven't been around the Discord lately. Wait, you know what? I can pull this up. I can pull this up. I just need to be very careful to not pull up the not safe for work version and also frame it correctly. So let's just very carefully. Content. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet, Taha. Thank you, Taha. That's very kind of you. I hit the wrong one. Thankfully, my face was in the way. Okay, let's just... Yeah, there we go. There we go. So, yes, I did indeed get art of me in a wedding dress. Ta-da, behold. How do you like it, Sam? No, thank you, Taha. You're very sweet. There you go. Me in a wedding dress. Ta-da, behold. Yes, there's a not safe for work version as well. No, Dave, there's no point counting that down. It's not happening. It's so big, thank you.
Please rate Rock and Rock in the caster tier list separately. Or if logistics don't allow it, rate the greatest caster, Tragodia.
No, pick one. Either Rock or Tragodia. Welcome in, Marshu, and thank you very much. And welcome in, NTR. And now it is down to 552, by the way. For Dave specifically, who's keeping track. Hi, West is gonna look. No worries. Thanks for coming, Dat Noob. Lovely as always to see ya. Rock and Rock. Gotcha. I'll rate them separately. By the way, Enlightened by NTR is a based as hell name. Okay, also, by the way, I'm kind of surprised. Priestess versus Monster. That's pretty close. Not gonna lie, I thought I was very much in the minority for liking both of them. There's two Rocks, don't worry about it. It's a reference to a previous video. Okay, oh wait, I was about to get started. No, it is 10 minutes until we start. Okay, let's keep, yeah, oh great, my music immediately broke. Let me fix that. 4 actually at minimum? No, it's just Rock. I was watching Arknight's Enfield stuff. Ooh, how are you finding it? I abandoned Discord for more than a year. There's no stress with that, Sam. So you've got to understand, there is Rock, and then there's Rock. And altogether, that's 4 rocks, which makes 4 of her. Please go through the streamer rewind. Sure, you guys want to see my streamer rewind? Actually, I don't even know how to view it again. Oh, thank you very much, Daha. That's very sweet of you. Okay, let's very briefly go through my streamer rewind of the year. 2025, South Heart Violence. We have high score. I streamed 660 hours. I streamed 187 times. Apparently that was over 229 days. Rip my fucking sleep schedule. Absolutely rip my sleep schedule. It is what it is. Total hours watched. 18,621 hours watched. Top categories, Arknights, Library of Ruina, Hollow Knight, Just Chatting, and Subnautica. That was it. I didn't have a 6th category, apparently. Your top stream hit a record 130 viewers. This was actually one of the sponsor streams where I got a raid of 90 people and had a panic attack. Your top tags are irrelevant. I haven't changed them at all. I've received 230,000 chat messages. We need more just chatting streams. I try, but there's also a lot of games I want to play. Now, top channel emotes. Surprising absolutely nobody. More than all of them combined. This makes it look like they're close. Blitz was said 10,000 times. Second place was said 4,000 times. So everybody get your Blitz emojis in the chat. Let's up those numbers. Team Priestess, because it'll generate more trauma and anguish based. Welcome in Devo's time. Lovely to have you. You always have panic attacks? No, I'm not going to read the second half of that message. I'm simply not going to. So, yeah. Blitz emoji was used more, just barely less than all 4 of the next 4 of the top 5 combined. Which is absolutely insane. I'm contributing trust. That should be a follower one. You should be able to use it, Daha. Next up, your biggest fans. I have no idea how these are calculated, but this is Rosen, Sayo, Hypnos, Marshu, Soup, Dicipta, Golf, Jolie, and Necron. Thank you all very much to not just all 9 of you, but everybody who showed up. It's been lovely to have you. What did I get into? Welcome in Alpha! Sorry, we're getting to the tier list very, very soon. I just am early because I lost track of time. So, within 5 minutes, we'll be at the tier list. I just, it is what it is. No, I'm not e-begging. Fuck off. Crossovers. I did 2 collabs total. I received 22 raids and I sent out 86. I mostly raided Goody, Mayo, and Kukikaze. South, why do you use Blitz on RA when you review my account? No, I won't be using Blitz on Reclamation algorithm. South, need money? No, it's free content! You do not need to give me money! It's very sweet of you all, but it is free content, and it always will be. You do not need to give me money. That's very kind of you.
Please, chat, give me.
No, it's not paid content. 75 clips made of me by 33 clips. Welcome in Uzu.
Chat,
the top of which was me falling into
chat,
acid 6 times in a row in Hollow Knight, which is to be expected. We had 813 new followers. 1,500 unique subscribers. Note self, do not wear headphones while watching your stream. I would say wear them because I say such shit all the time. You just might want to turn me down. Sorry for that, Alpha. Priestess of the embodiment of may you live in interesting times? Absolutely. Hype trains 109. You want to know the funniest thing? This came out, what, 2 days ago and this is already out of date. And 6.5 million channel points spent. Then, this is a summary of my recap. So, there you go, there you go. That's stalled enough time. We can now get back to the tier list.
More new subs than follows we did it.
More new subs than follows we did it, chat. Yes. Almost double. I gained 800 followers. And 1,500 unique subs. Oh, thanks for the sub, Damo. Glad you're having fun. Thank you, Tom. That's very sweet. Look, do we need to get it out of the way? Do we need to get it out of the way? If you want to... no, that's fine. That's fine. Almost double. Yeah, close enough. What do we spend 6.4 million on? Mostly on calling me bald and playing If Life Gives You Lemons. Why don't we get to 70? No, no, Dave, no. No. There is no need to. Yep, there we go. Everybody just steals my celebration and calls me bald. Alrighty, that's enough of that. I'm not going to say anything that could result in people being irresponsible with their finances. Actually, one last thing. Crazy? That was crazy once. I am planning to stream over Christmas. That's making me crazy. Crazy? That was crazy. Do not fucking give me a Christmas gift. Buy something for yourself. I'm doing it to keep people company. That's all. You don't need to give me anything. Hydrate? Yes, sir. In fact, I'll probably run a reverse subathon. It'll be a marathon Christmas stream, but every time you give money, I stream less. Welcome in, Priestess. Lovely to have you. We should celebrate with subathon. No, that's fine. Now, let's get on to the tier list. Let's move on from that topic. Buy what subs? No. That's very sweet of you, Yen. Thank you. You're very, very kind. We do not need another hype train seconds after the last one ended. No, thank you, Yen. That's very sweet of you. What I'm hearing is we have an end stream button. Sign me up.
So what I'm hearing
sure.
is we have an end stream button.
555 Christmas gifts? No.
Button.
I don't celebrate Christmas, then just enjoy the holiday, Yomu. Lovely to have you. Guys, Christmas present is not... No, that's not right. That's not what I said. Reverse subathon where you leak the stream key. No. I will not be doing so. Alrighty, now, for real this time, let's get on with the subathon. Shit! Or let's get on with the caster tier list. We shall proceed to the caster tier list and nothing else. I didn't mistakenly say something else. We are proceeding to a caster tier list. So, first, no, not concerned. It's down to 551 now, Dave, because Marshu gave $5 through PayPal. So, but no. And
Remind
Marathon, not
was a
subathon.
dumbass and decided to make a bet that if we reach
No, it's
only
not a custom
552
tier list.
subs, we will get another
Caster.
subathon.
We will... Okay, everybody, let's proceed with the Caster tier list to celebrate the 4th of July. Yeehaw, brother! There you go. There you go. Let's go with the Caster tier list. That's right. If you try to cringe me, I'll cringe you back. This is like when you guys kept insisting that when I said slut, I was saying slut instead. And you just kept saying, oh, South, what do you mean slut? When I was very clearly saying slut. You can't just gaslight me about common words and just make shit up. Alrighty, let's get started. Absinthe. What the fuck? What were they thinking? Year 1 operators, yeah, there's a few misses. But holy shit! Bro! It's so disgusting! They did her so dirty. She was like 4-star level performance and bad for a 4-star. She would fit better in with the 3 stars. Welcome in, Belmont. Lovely to have you. Thank you, Dar. That's very sweet of you. What is her kit again? So, here's what Absinthe does. Her S1 is awful and permanent, but takes 3 minutes to charge. And her S2 stops her from attacking most enemies. What's South talking about? There's nothing there? Nothing there, you say? Hello? But no, Absinthe's kit is outstandingly shit. It constantly messes... Ah! Holy shit, buddy. Please stop with the coughs. Her kit worse than a 4-star? Yes. Andriana S2, by the way. Okay, look. Absinthe is like, Steward level performance, but with Andriana level inconvenience. Unironically, in most situations, Absinthe is directly worse than Steward. She is so fucking terrible, and her skills take so long to set up. Wow, holy shit, yeah, my BGM is just absolutely fucking broken. This is infuriating. Okay, hopefully it works this time. But her S1's infinite duration, yeah, and it's bad! With her S1 active, Absinthe is roughly on par with a 4-star. Look behind you. I live alone, Ein, but it's lovely to have you. No, Absinthe is absolutely atrociously bad. However, she is not the worst on the list. She's not. There is worse. Steward's still more usable because IS he adds to Arkedos? No, default Steward. I'm not even talking IS. Welcome in, Drunk! Think of the infinite duration, though. Yeah, but it's so bad. Okay, look. Let me read to you what she does. Let me read what Absinthe does, okay? She's absent from it. That's a funny pun. I like that. I like that. High five to Team Priestess. She has come. The gospel must spread. So true. So true. Oh, thank you, Taha. That's very sweet. Alrighty. Here is Absinthe's kit. Just in case anybody was confused. Increases damage dealt to enemies below 40% HP. That is already terrible. Next up, at full masteries, her infinite duration skill takes 70 seconds to charge and only gives plus 90% attack. Which is really bad. Then her S2 is she does... This is so ridiculously shit. This is so ridiculously shit. Her S2, she does 4 attacks per attack. But each of them do half damage. Meaning her S2 is also double attack. And that's it. And the uptime sucks. Every 50 seconds you use it for 30 seconds. And it stops her attacking enemies above half HP. It's so atrociously bad. I'm sad, give me a hug. I'm sorry to hear that, Sam. I hope you feel better soon. Things will pick up, so stick with it, man. But yeah, so Absinthe is atrociously bad. She's absolute dog shit, and whoever designed her should be fired. Moving on to more interesting characters. I'm late, he's already slandering Absinthe. Look, ADS, it's lovely to have you. I like Absinthe, but Absinthe is just terrible, okay? They did her so dirty. It's so actually tragic. It's ridiculous. Next up, we have Amiya. Amiya is a solid caster. You might be thinking, South, why are you pausing? You don't understand. You newer players might be spoiled with choice, just in case for some of the newer people who started within the last couple of years. For the first 3 years of the game, Amiya was the 4th best caster in the game. Indisputably. Number 4. Her kit is fine. It's not good. It's acceptable. What the fuck were they cooking for the entirety of the caster class? I have no clue. Like, they refused to balance this shit. True damage? Yeah, I know she does true damage. You know when that's relevant? Never. At best, you could justify her being low, extremely good at launch, but now she has to compete with Monster. And even Vina. But mainly Monster, let's be real. She's one of the OG casters that do true damage. Actually, Amiya was the only, there were only 2 characters at the launch of the game who did true damage. That was Haze and Amiya. That was it. Weedy was the 3rd, and she was added much later. Oh, wait, no, there was also Clifford. My bad, there were 3, and then Weedy was the 4th. But Amiya was the only source who did any meaningful sort of true damage. However, that wasn't really relevant, and then it was relevant for a while, but now we have better options like Monster. So, back in the day, she would be extremely good, but like the low tier of that, just because true damage was unique to her, but nowadays it's absolutely not. Cliff doing true is very funny. I agree. Welcome in, Darkstar! You should put Amiya top S because plot armor. No. She is not top tier. Next up, we have KB. Now, I want her to be top. I'm not 100% sure she is. But here is, once again for newer players, here is what the advice was for the first 3 years of the game. Ifrit, Eyjafjalla, KB. Pick 1 or 2 of them. Level them. Those are the only casters in the game. That is it. Those were your only options. And then if you were playing IS, you could use Durin. No, not Durin. You could use Steward. Everybody else was absolutely dogshit. However, in my opinion, all 3 of them have held up really well. But Ifrit has high DP cost, so she's held up the least well. KB is really, really solid, still has some absolute top tier uses. Aya is probably better than her, but I'm biased against Aya. We will find out later on. For now, I'm putting her in top tier, but she might not be top 5. KB's your single target casters. It's your AoE. Yes, Alina, that is absolutely the case. Aya was stronger than every AoE caster. They did AoEs so fucking badly. It's paid content. Oh, thank you, Daha. Thank you for the street, Belmont. Daha, that's very sweet of you. Please be responsible, okay? First year she was slept on? Yeah, that's because people didn't realize that she literally broke the game. Nowadays, every enemy has to have mixed bulk because otherwise KB just kills them. Next up, we have Durin. she's... I mean... Does anyone care if I put Duran in bad? Okay, look, let's be real. You are guaranteed Steward and Amir. You didn't use Duran when you were a new player. She's good. No, by the time you got her, she was already power crept in your team. Duran's strong though? No, she's not. You have Steward. She gets an altar? Maybe one day. Look, let's just be real. Genuinely. Oh, thanks for the follow username. 50% art stop. Drunk! Name me a single time in the entire game that has been relevant. Just one. Welcome in, Batha. Hello, Unk. Welcome in, username. Lovely to have you. During the Destroyer of Worlds, yes, she's a meme character. She is a meme character. However, by the time you get her, which is like 5 stages into the game, she was already power crept by Amir and Steward, and you had no reason to use her. Duran for evasion tanking? Yeah. When are you using evasion tanking? Oh, that's very sweet. And by the way, Duran's main niche being evasion teaches new players bad things. A new player will try out Duran and go, oh, I guess casters are meant to be tanky. No! So it is giving them misinformation. Thanks for the follow, Ark. Lovely to have you. Hello, welcome in, Rosen! Welcome in, Broth. Lovely to have you both. I love your stream because I disagree with all of your tier lists. That's absolutely fine. Hopefully you can at least understand why I'm rating the way I do. If you disagree, that's absolutely fine. Welcome in, Ion Notion! Lovely to have you. Yeah, I'm looking for that 50% funny. Yeah, but it's never good. I used her once versus Skull Shatterer. The funniest thing about that is that Duran only has Arts Dodge. Skull Shatter is physical. They're not tank? No, Alshesus. And thanks to follow Jessica Cat. Jessica Cat, rather. Lovely to have you. Lamau? Yeah, but like, that's what I mean. It taught you the wrong... Thank you, Dart. That's very sweet. It taught you the wrong messages. She's a sacrifice? Absolutely. I've used her once in Eyes 3? Yeah, but even then, she's not good. If you win every 50-50, she's immortal. In that case, just run Maya, and she's immortal to everything. Next up, we have Aya the Goat. And now, look, I'm gonna be so dead ass. I actually think Aya is worse than KB these days. These days. At launch, Aya Fiala was indisputably better. I never liked her. I used KB and Ifrit more. But at launch, and for the first few years, it was not a competition. However, these days, flat res shred is not as good as scaling with enemy armor. Because of the gradual stat creep, res, they've had to give enemies HP instead to make up for it, and different ways of mitigating it. But with defense, they just increase the defense, which just makes KB stronger. Especially with her module, where she now basically does 100% of the enemy's defense as arts damage. So, Aya's S3 is no longer realistically competitive versus characters like Logos S3, and her S2 is still really good, but in my opinion, she is worse than KB and will almost certainly get knocked out of the top 5. Then we have Haze. Haze is another bro, what the fuck. I want you to know, I like Haze. I really do. I like her. Her design is very fun. Okay, she's probably not quite that bad. She's probably not quite that bad. When you use her, she has pretty solid damage, but she decreases her own HP by 75%. What were they thinking? Any ranged or AoE enemy in the game will one-shot Haze with her S2. Guaranteed. So it's just like, if something goes wrong, your caster dies, and if nothing goes wrong, you have a slightly stronger steward. Me looking at my M3 no mod KB. Why? Her module's amazing, Jessica. Don't let her get hit, skill issue. Yeah, but like, that's the thing. It's not worth it. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. 75%, yeah, it reduces her HP to 25%. So, no, I like, to be fair, I think Haze is better than Duran. But she's definitely not solid tier. She has a massive glaring weakness and no notable strength. She's just fine. Actually, you know what? That does put her into solid, because this is casters we're talking about. This is where 50% arts, dodge, and Durin comes into play. So true. Just combine the two. She's the embodiment of a glass cannon. No, she's not the embodiment of a glass cannon. She's the embodiment of throwing stones in a glass house. It's not particularly damaging, and if they ever try to throw back, you lose. Her Res Shred and S2's attack speed buff aren't shit, but yeah, there's way better choices. Yeah, like, she's okay, I guess, but like, she's really low solid. It's just, she at least theoretically has some use cases if 4 stars are free. If you have to pick a 4-star, the only one, a 4-star caster, you're choosing realistically between Haze and Indigo. Those are your only 2 options. So she at least has that going for her. I understand why you put him there, but there's also the funny answer. Yeah, no, exactly. She's just an asthmatic woman, apparently so. She can't be fragile. She has high defense than Odor. Yeah, everybody does. The bar for casters is low, it's just the best jumped over. No, the bar for casters is very low, and most of the... Look, you don't understand. Having percentage true damage on your normal attacks makes casters amazing by default. Most of them took shovels and started tunneling under the bar. Welcome in, Logan! Lovely to have you. Maybe another tier for okayish. I actually think for casters we do need one. Genuinely, that's a good idea. For casters specifically, we do need a middle tier. This can just be like, eh. Where they're not good, but they're not actively bad. Click Erasure, yeah, but realistically, Click, you already want Golden Glow. Like, Click has to compete with Golden Glow and Lapland. That's the problem. I vote we name it the soft tier. What would that even mean? It's next to solid. Oh, gotcha. Also, welcome in, brave Sir Robert. The rat got kidnapped. Yeah, look, I'm biased against Click. That is fair. There are 3 choices. Oh, thank you, Daha. That's very sweet. Thanks for coming, Nugget. Have a great day. Sag Absinthe tier. Look, I like Absinthe, but performance-wise, Haze outperforms Absinthe. You get that, right? Like, I really like Absinthe, but Haze is actively better. Even if they're both free, I will take Haze more often than Absinthe. She has one of the kits of all time. Her buffs are also just so fucking bad. Like, Haze hits higher DPS than Absinthe. Oh, thank you, Daha. That's very sweet of you. Now, what I will say, Absinthe is not alone. No, thank you, Daha. You're very kind. Daha is lore accurate tier 2 sniper, apparently so. But no, Absinthe is not alone. You might be thinking, South, this is really mean. She's not that bad. Bro, she's a 6-star. Look at me. Holhiak is a 6-star. And her average performance is like 20% better than Steward. It is ridiculous how fucking awful she is. Even her IS module doesn't fix her? Yeah! She's hot mommy? I know! That's why I'm so disappointed! She's a sadistic snake mummy! Of course I wanted her to be good! How about her IS module? It's still awful! Oh, is air at worst stop being silly? No, I have higher standards for my 6 stars, Anna. If you were to list the worst 5 worst 6 stars in the game, Holhiak would be on that list. Who is a worst 6-star caster? Is there anyone in contention? Like, is there anyone even arguably worse than Holhiak? I would say Carnelian's better. Carnelian does more damage. Blaze Alta is situational, but she does a lot of damage. Welcome in, Y5C. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Still bad even with busted module? Exactly. Carnelian, look, Carnelian's super inconvenient, but at least she does damage. Holhiak doesn't. Holos 2 is fun as a heli drop. Yeah, but then she's bad. She's good, like, for 30 seconds and bad. Oh, thank you, Repton. That's very sweet of you. You're trying to outsnipe Dar. See? If her tornadoes pierce to be useful, yes. The only thing they need to do to fix Holhiak's kit, make her tornadoes hit every enemy in range. Why is it limited to 1? I don't understand. Like, the best I could give her is bad. That is the absolute best I could give her. I think a nervous impairment mod would work on her. Maybe? She just needs, like, so much to fix her kit. If her S3 Pierce should be fucked up, yeah! She'd have a very defined, fun niche. But as it stands, like, Carnelian's niche is bad, but she's functional at her niche. Holkiak's niche is bad, and she sucks at it. That is why, in my opinion, Holkiak is worse than Carnelian, but at the very least, they're comparable. She'll be meta in Enfield Trust, hopefully. 12F in top tier? No, 12F will not be in top tier. Logos, no debate needed. Is anyone... Any objections? Really? Any objections? Single caster should always attack one enemy at a time. The problem with that is that we have... Like, in theory, I would agree with you. If she was a year 1 operator, I could see that. But she came out recently, and year 1 had Aya. She came out... Did Holhiak come out slightly after or just before Logos? I forget which. That's sort of the big problem there. Like, in theory, I agree with you, but they have so much precedent of this not being year before, gotcha, bit before. They just had so much precedent of exceptions to the rule that nerfing her into the ground for the rule felt really silly. She's from Lone Trail? Oh, right, she was from ULSIS. Gotcha, that's right. No one ever uses her unless they think she's hot. She should be in Bro What the Fuck, not for being bad, for bad creeping every caster in the game. Oh, Logos? Yeah, he did. It's actually crazy that Logos took the entire caster archetype and power crept it. Like, actually stop and think about that. Logos didn't power creep a caster. He power crept every caster. Even in situations like Duran's dodge, Logos is better at it. He can give himself 90 res, which is functionally immunity to arts damage. He can face tank Tallulah's fire. No healing necessary. I object Logos. He came out with Wishadel and he's the second for the rest of his life. I know, right? He's also second in terms of attractiveness to his mom. But yeah, his S1 is the best AFK caster skill in the game. His S3 is the best burst caster skill in the game. His S2 is the best tank caster skill in the game. Logos is the GOAT. And then we have Nightmare, and Nightmare goes in the Absinthe tier. Does he slow her fire? With her S3, he can nullify her fire. He can delete it in wide range after slowing it. With Logos' S2, he can just sit there taking the hits, and he doesn't die. That is how stupid 90 res is. Like, he can delete the fireballs for himself and your team, or he can face tank the fireballs and not care. He can do both of those. Welcome in, Ochi! Nightmare's hella weird but cute. Yeah, I love Nightmare, and her kit is so bad. So egregiously bad. In my opinion, Nightmare has the worst, most embarrassing skill in the entire game. So, does everybody here remember Weedy's S3? How it applies a debuff that means the enemy takes true damage based on every tile moved. Nightmare also does that. The problem is, it's an auto-activate skill that applies a slow. She does damage per tile moved while applying a slow. It is embarrassing. I didn't know it slowed. Yeah, it slows pretty significantly. It's not like a 10% slow. From memory, it's 50 or 60%. Wait, what? Yeah, let me check the numbers. I want to make sure I'm getting this absolutely 100% correct. Let's see exactly the numbers. Nightmare S2 slows the enemy by 60%. She has a 60% slow on a skill that does damage based on tiles moved. Wouldn't giving enemies a speed buff be better? Yes! It's a pretty hefty slowdown. Yeah, it's a pretty good slow, not gonna lie. Better than a lot of supporters. I just got the rare skin that is yet to rerun. I know, why are you rubbing it in? I don't have that skin. It's movement reduction, which is worse because enemies aren't immune to that. Yeah, it's the Omega slow that no one's immune to. Does damage, not sure how accurate that is. True. Oh, and by the way, for anyone curious, her other skill makes her heal. That's right. Her S2 is the good skill. Her S1 makes her heal allies. The only situation her healing is relevant is if you're playing casters only, because she is the only source of healing for casters. It is so embarrassingly bad. Heals like incantation? Yeah. She's a discount incantation medic. Next up, we have Quanipalat. Marcy heals? Yeah. So, she's even been power crept in that. Nightmare's very fun to use with pullers? Yeah, but at the same time, you can just use Weedy. Yeah, look, Marcy can heal, but, like, Marciel heals less consistently. She's a weird one. Let's go Quanipalat. What does this guy even do? Not much. Not gonna lie, he doesn't do much. I'm genuinely curious. No judgment. Do we actually have any Quanipalat defenders? Because he is just budget Holgyak, which is less embarrassing than actual Holgyak, because at least he's a welfare 5-star rather than a 6-star. Actually pretty solid, is he though? Like, isn't his gimmick that he applies Art's Fragility to flying units and then levitates enemies for like half a second? So he's slightly better, slightly more consistent Holgyak, but a lot of enemies are immune to levitate. And also, heavy enemies, it basically doesn't work on because the levitate duration's halved and his levitate is already very short. So it's not that like he's not bad at his niche, it's just that his niche is bad. Holgyak is bad at her niche and her niche is bad. They're in the same niche. Holgyak's bad at it, Quanipalat is better at it, but it's still a bad niche. Same way, like, Carnelian's good at what she does, it's just what she does fucking sucks. That's all. So it's not really his fault, it's more Levitate as a debuff. Steward is solid. This is how fucking dogshit casters are. This is how embarrassing this archetype is. Steward is actually, like, top 10 casters in the game. It's so stupid. The definition of solid? Yeah, he's just a really reliable caster. And then for most people, you just run Steward and Amir, because every other caster sucked. Next up, we have... Do I really need to do this? Man, Look, is anybody surprised by where Tamimi goes, huh? Is anybody surprised? She's a caster whose gimmick is doing physical damage and having no range. She can only attack adjacent enemies. And her skill is RNG. Like, all three of her effects suck, and you can't guarantee which one of them you get. Raw power-wise, any 5-star solos? Yes, absolutely ham. I am taking into account things like use cases and when you get them. For example, Steward still has a lot of use cases in integrated strategies because you can get them without hope. In any IS except for IS-3. For the 4-stars, that is only the case for IS-5, and it's still usually not worth leveling them for it.
She's us.
Absolutely not. So yeah, like, 5 stars need to be a lot more than slightly better than Steward, is more what I'm getting at. If you're a 5-star and you are slightly better than Steward, you're a really bad 5-star and not worth leveling. That's more what I'm getting at, because 5 stars are a lot more expensive to level. Steward costs like a 6-pack of beer and a cigarette, and then he's maxed out. Doesn't she also only attack grounds during enemy skill? I do not know. I've not used her in 5 years. She's fucking terrible. Thick tail, though. Yeah, but thick tails are also weird. I'm definitely team thin tail, not gonna lie. He is the bar. Yeah, I feel like Steward is the bar. Hayes is solid, but she is not worth leveling over Steward. Especially since her only use case is you would take her if you have her leveled in IS5 where 4 stars is free. That is basically the, like, she's theoretically better than Steward, but that is the only time you're gonna get her. As a newer player, it is not worth leveling Hayes, really. Like, she's fine. She's sort of a side grade. Everyone other than Hayes is not good enough compared to Steward to justify investment. Hayes has use case. Yeah, she does have some. I don't really think Quanipalat does, just because Levitate sucks. He's definitely better than Holdo. Hayes has rough competition with Click. She does. The bar, he's wunderbar. So true. 12F. 12F is fucking terrible. He is absolutely worse than Durin. I don't understand why everyone is hyping him up. I don't get it. You're doing it ironically, right? You're all kidding. You're all just fucking with me. He's a 2-star splash caster. He does no damage. His only use case was dodging Patriot Spears if you didn't have a better ranged dodger. Can't say much with the starter ops. Yeah, for casters specifically. Oh shoot, I'm late. Welcome in, Sharon! For casters specifically, they're in a bad way because they have to compete with Amir and Steward. Like, realistically, every single player has Amir and Steward right as they start, so there's no reason for them to swap from Steward to Durin or 12F, especially since they're drastically worse than him. Most of the other classes only have to compete with one operator. For example, snipers only needed to compete with Cruz, but because you start with Amir as well and she's really solid, casters has got... First off, also most casters are shit, but in addition to that, they also got done dirty by Amir. Hayes is useful against an enemy with really high res plus defense and low HP. Yeah, you know who's even better? Virtuosa, Tragodia, and Monster. Also, what enemies have... Like, outside of Chapter 13, I think it is, where it was a Virtuosa showcase, I can't think of a single enemy who fits that description. I never leveled Steward. He's pretty solid, but no, at this stage, you probably don't need him. Splashcaster class is cursed. It really is. Splashcasters were balanced around the game being drastically harder. In Arknights' beta, Hoshiguma had default block 5. Every defender did. Splashcasters were built around that. That's why they feel so ridiculously underwhelming. Every single Splashcaster was balanced around dealing 40% more damage because there were just that many more enemies on the field. But then they just didn't tweak them. They just nerfed the number of enemies, decreased your defender's block, and then went, you know what, fuck it. Splashcasters can be terrible. It's fine. So that is why Splashcasters are really notably awful. This is ancient lore. I expect not a lot of people to know that. Dusk is fine. Dusk is solid. The more likes the caster, the higher caster and the power level they have. Yeah, pretty much. I really do like Dusk. I especially like her S1. She's not really worth leveling over, like... She's a really good character if you like her, but if you're looking for meta, she's just not, like... Back in the day, she might have been extremely good, but now she has actual competition. Dusk is dogshit. No, her S1's really solid. Her S1 has really good range. She was basically the first source of sustained AoE damage in the game that didn't suck. Like, she still has really good, consistent AoE damage. It's just now she's also competing with Wishadel. Bummass artist, absolutely. Her mod is also whole yell. No, her IS mod is really good. It's just inconvenient to use. It means even if she's in your squad, every character summons a Dusk summon, which means you can just not take any melee units. It's pretty powerful. But no, she's very pretty. She's not the best, but she's okay. I would say she's probably worse than Steward because the DP cost. DP cost doesn't help yet. Yeah, true. Look, you know what? Let's put her in eh. I think back in the day she would have been solid, but now she just has so much more competition. In most situations, why wouldn't you just use Wishadel? Or even someone like Texas Alta. It's just we have more AoE now. And she's so expensive, and nowadays everyone's cheap. Like, Exia Alta costs 13. I think back in the day, there is an argument for her to be extremely good, or at least high solid, but nowadays I think she's just eh. There's no real reason to level her outside of her design. Gitano! The only saving Gray... Actually, wait. Let me remind myself of Gitano's skills. I get Gitano and Gray confused because they're both 4-star dog shit. Oh, right. I remember her passive now. Yeah, never mind. Fun fact, fun fact. Gitano is actually worse. Her passive is either 15% extra attack, 15 attack speed, or 20% HP. One of those three at random. And after using her skill, she stuns herself. So she's inconsistent, inconvenient, and bad. Truly, what an amazing trio. I used to force pick her every stage. I did as well. When I look at all of my up to chapter 4 clears, all of them had Gitano. That's normal? No, it's really not. It's really not normal for a character to stun themselves. Like, her skill lasts 30 seconds, it takes 90 seconds to recharge, and then it stuns her for 10 seconds. In my opinion, for the most part, you already have Lava. Why would you ever use her? Gray, on the other hand, Gray's kind of decent. I never really used Gray, but I was confused which of the two I was thinking about. Gray, in my opinion, is solid. He applies an inconsistent, slow, does vaguely acceptable damage. Not even solid. He's just like... He's eh. He's acceptable. He's okay. Like, if you like him, he's fine, I guess. He does no damage, though. Yeah, you know what? I don't like Gray. Let's shift him down a tier. Spectre's allowed to stun herself because she does something. Yeah, exactly. Spectre turns immortal. Jutano does slightly increased AoE damage. He fine, bruh? No, he's really not fine. You can't be an AoE character who does less than a quarter per hit than a single target does in a game where there's not that many enemies for you to hit. Also, his skills are, like, fine. They mainly up his stun. Grey Ult is decent. Oh, absolutely. Grey Ult is fine. Grey Ult is pretty solid. Grey himself, he's not so much. Lava is eh. Actually, I'm gonna go so far as to say Lava is also bad. I'm gonna crash out for a bit. I really like splash casters, but you can absolutely fucking tell that the game is balanced around the idea of there being more enemies to hit. She's so expensive. She's so inconvenient to deploy, her range is ass, and she does no fucking damage. Bad? Yes. I have an account where I was not leveling characters. I was playing around for fun. And then Lava was still dog shit. Steward at E0 level 1, doing single target damage, kills waves of enemies faster than Lava's AoE. Like, her AoE is not good enough to make up for her slow-ass attack speed, massive DP cost, and dogshit range. Also, Purgatory. You want to know where Purgatory goes? Exact same place. This is a catastrophic fumble. Purgatory's design is really cool. What about a passive? What, Lava's passive? You mean Lava's passive where she starts with some skill points and is sort of heli drop? Oh, Purgatory. That makes way more sense, I was gonna say. What the fuck do you mean, Lava's passive? Purgatory, that was just also an SP buff, right? And then she also buffs other casters. But that kind of talent only really works with Vanguards. No one really cares about the other classes. It was mainly good with Vanguards because they let you get the rest of your team on the field faster. The firebox is super cool. It is. That's one of my most popular videos of all time. A video of me just showing off Purgatory's S2. Lava was valuable in the first round of Granny and the Knight's Treasure. Yeah, valuable in quotation marks, because we had no better options. I was around for that event. But no, Lava, oh, I wanted to like her so bad. Her animations are so cool. And then she's like 5% better than her 3-star version. It's so tragic. I love splash casters, and this is what they did to them. Thankfully, there is at least one I can enjoy hating on, and that is the most punchable twink. Twink number 7 in the game, Leonhardt. He gains attack for every enemy in range. And then doesn't fucking kill them because his skills suck. However, he's better than Purgatory. Think of Purgatory's skins, though? Yeah, she's extremely attractive. Purgatory is painfully a 5-star cost, while underwhelming for a 5-star. Bro, Purgatory should... The 4-star Splash Casters should have been Purgatory level. She is not a 5-star. His skills suck. I mean, his skills are very inconvenient. Every 15 seconds, you can do 1 buffed attack. Yes, it stores charges, but that's, like... That's a lot of attention you have to pay to Leonhardt, where it would be better placed focusing on other units. If you want a character you have to micromanage, even Saga S2 is better. Leonhardt's skills don't suck, it's just they're really inconvenient, and the payoff is not that great. He's one of the better splash casters? Yeah, I agree. Leonhardt better than Dusk, IMO, S2 Res Ignore. Isn't it only like Ignore 8 Res? Oh, Ignore 15% Res. No, that's really bad. No, that's not 15 flat. That's not 15 flat. That's 15%. You've got to understand something. Percentage Res Ignore is atrociously bad. Really, really bad. That means, on average, he is ignoring 2 to 3 res. It is roughly a 6% damage increase. It is not ignore 15 res. It is 15% res, which is drastically worse. How much res can enemies have? The highest was like 130. So there are a few situations where theoretically it would be good, but that was against like Plastic Knights, where you need true damage, otherwise you're not killing them anyway. And in the situations it's good, it still wouldn't really matter. From memory, the highest res in the game was Plastic Knight boss, Krasinski or whatever his name is, who had 130 with his shield up. And in that situation, Leonhardt would ignore 18 res, which would take him to 98 res and mean he was still doing chip damage. Hey, South, welcome in Albedo! If you want to bring a splash caster, just bring Pinecone. Unironically, it's kind of tragic. What I will say, the next 4 splash casters are not quite as bad. Plastic Knight? Yeah, it's Plastic Knight. There's a boss version of him. Unless the enemy has over 100 res, 15% res ignore will never be as good as 15 res ignore. Yeah, exactly. It's percentage res ignore. It's really, really bad. What class is South? I would be an assassin, obviously, because that's my real-life job. Next up, we have Marseille. Now, in my opinion, this is where Marseille goes. I'm gonna be so dead ass. I was thinking to myself, she's pretty good for a splash caster. But I was Plastic Knight. One of the bosses from Maria Nerl Light or Maria Nerl. Let me pull him up for you. You'll probably recognize him. He is this guy. Oh, shit. Hopefully you can see him. There we go. He's this guy. He's one of the NPCs. And the Casimir Knights who have a shield, he is the boss variant of them. In Maria Nerl, all of the standard enemies had a boss variant who's stronger. That was this guy. Souther S2 is good. Yeah, it's okay, but you can only use it twice per stage. Unless you bring all of the other Dungeon Meshi characters who suck. That is my opinion of it. Try to pronounce his name? No. Marseille's kit's goofy enough. Yeah, I do think, actually, you know what, you're right. I think Marseille's kit has enough inbuilt fun to justify it being solid. S2's unlimited? Oh, sorry, I was thinking of S3. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I think Marseille's kit has enough fun that she's fine. She's definitely more versatile than Dusk. Sorry, I was thinking of her S3. Would Mystima with mod 3 at air? No. Mystima... Think about how fucking low the bar is. Mystima is actually useful irrespective of being a splash caster sometimes. Name a single other situation a splash caster has actually been meta. Mystima is actually extremely good. To clarify, at launch, Mystima was here. I liked Mystima when she was here. With her new module, she is not A level. She is like the bottom of extremely good. But she is notably amazing. She applies minus 99% movement speed, which is different to slow because nothing is immune to it, to all enemies in range, which is a basic 30-second stun while doing a bit of free damage. She has such a high skill cap. Yeah, usually Mystima's really bad. If this was not casters, she would be at best solid, but the bar for casters is really low. Like, the gap between Mystima and Aya is roughly the gap between Mystima and Gitano. Just to clarify. Blue tongue. Mystima does not actually have a blue tongue. Only Asbestos does. We've seen Mystima's tongue and it is pink. I know, it's tragic, it's tragic. Mystima's the queen of CC? Absolutely. That CC is holy what the fuck? Yeah. Mystima is basically, you bring her so that one time per stage, you can apply a 30-second stun, which is insane. However, outside of that, her damage is okay, and her uptime is not very good. With her module, the module was realistically the best we could have possibly expected for Mystima, and she's pretty solid. She's by far the best splash caster because she's actually decent and good. Like, she's definitely worth leveling, even if you have Amir and Steward leveled. Which is a really low bar, but I wouldn't say the same about anyone else so far. Mystima Ultra will bring new crowd control, I can hope. HD fumbled not making her tongue blue. I know, right? Don't worry, they did give us Asbestos at least. 18% unconditional global slow is really good. Yeah. Her 18% unconditional slow is something you don't really notice, but if you lost it, you would notice. There are a couple buffs like that in the game. It's even like Inez is slow on her range on the thing she leaves behind. Very, very convenient, you just don't notice it. It's not super standout. You wouldn't bring her for the global slow, usually. It's just a very beneficial side benefit. In the end, she's strong, not even because she's a splash caster because of her talent. Yeah. She's strong because of that. Sometimes backfires, though. Oh, absolutely. It can lead to enemy casters getting really clumped up and one-shotting you. Which has definitely happened to me. Because again, I have been a fan of Mystima since before modules. I've been shilling for Mystima since before modules. I would constantly lie to people and say, bro, she's ranged Silver Ash. Especially after I'd given them nothing but true information for multiple months, so they thought they could trust me. But she has always been kind of bad. Now that she has her module, she's actually pretty solid though. Now, this might be a bit of a hot take. Santala is actually okay. Think about how low the bar has to be for Santala to be okay. She has a basically unconditional 20% attack buff and passable skills. The bed meta? No, if this was a bed meta, she'd be top tier. Actually. Okay, if this was a bed meta, she'd be top tier. I gotta pay my respects. Now that she is a module, she's solid. How do we know South isn't trying to gaslight us? Because 99% slow. On paper sounds amazing. In practice is amazing. Holy gaslight god? Hell yeah, brother. Never used her, so I don't know. You've got to understand something. Santala's talent, S2, can, in theory, reduce her DPS to 0. It means instead of targeting enemies, she spawns random icicles in range that then fall and do a small splash damage. You could very possibly have all of those icicles fucking miss. However, her damage is pretty good, and her kit is at least vaguely salvageable. It's not random, it's semi-random. Yeah, it's semi-random, but still. She's decent. She's decent. With 200 attack speed, she perma-freezes enemies. Exactly. Like, there are situations... Oh, sorry. There are situations you'd want Santala, even if it's for high-end IS, where she can perma-freeze. But at a baseline, she's definitely better. Maybe I could see Leonhardt being better than her at a baseline in normal stages. But unlike Leonhardt, she has really good use cases in IS. So she's at least sometimes sort of maybe worth using. Peak character design is Gacha attack on S2. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Hydrate? Yes, sir. What do you mean semi-random? It's not completely random. It will hit every tile rather than potentially hitting one tile every single time. Is the best way to explain it. Only operator you want intentionally face a wall. Yeah, it is pretty funny that that's a meta strategy for her. Now, Skyfire. Okay, here's a fun fact about Skyfire. First off, did you know Skyfire canonically burns her clothing off whenever she fights? She is immune to her fire, her clothing is not. Much more importantly, did you know that Skyfire's S2 was supposed to be her fucking basic attack? And then they removed it and made it a skill with really bad uptime. The funniest thing about this is that even if that had been permanent, she would have been okay. And the devs really thought Skyfire would be a success. Did you know there is a plastic model, 1/7 model of Skyfire? She appeared in so much of the game's promotional material. The devs really thought people would love Skyfire. And instead, she is just like here. She is slightly worse than Santella. The funniest part about this, she was actually the best of her archetype at launch. She was actually legitimately, unironically, the best splash caster at launch. She was better than Mystima because she applied a stun. That is how atrociously dogshit this entire archetype is. Now, let's get 2 quickies out of the way. Aroma and Choroserum. We are up to the Ifrit archetype. Any questions? Any debates here? Anyone want me to revisit these in more detail? Mystima isn't at launch though? Yeah, but she basically was. It's the same way I would call Chen and Skadi a launch character even though they weren't. Hi, welcome in Ancient! If it's not Ifrit, it's bad. Yeah, like, we thought that the archetype was good. No, it was just Ifrit. They just really overloaded Ifrit. The archetype fucking sucks. Swap Aroma and Choroserum? No. Because Choroserum has to directly compete with Lapland and Jay. Aroma is a levitate character. Her competition is Angelina S3, Holhiak, and Quanipalat. Choroserum's competition is Lapland. I think Nightmare and Tamimi need their own category. There is a reason they're right at the bottom. Well, actually, to be fair, Absinthe is better than 12-Air. I would also say she's better than Gitano, so let's put her there. Fair enough. Yeah, look, it is what it is. Aroma's good in base, yeah, but deployment is so fucking terrible. Mushroom tier, welcome in, Bronya! What, do you mean bangable? Is that what you mean by mushroom? Haruka S3, yep. Not many map allow for them to be used, even Ifrit shines once in a full moon. Yeah, but if you want to force Ifrit down mid, she absolutely can be useful. Maybe Aroma a bit higher since Haruka's coming out, so Levitate might be viable again. There is a chance of that. I would just need to experiment with that myself. And also, that's sort of a case of like... You know the memes of the team at 99% strength? That is Haruka plus Aroma in Levitate Knights. She has decent multipliers. It could be the case. It's just her range is also so bad. Absinthe is better than those two. Yeah, I do actually think... Let me actually fix this up. For most players, I think that is where it lies. Gitano is only better because players will get her earlier. They are generally more useful, but they're just still... None of these three are worth leveling, but people get Gitano earlier, so there's at least a chance to use her. I got Tamimi for free in IS and was like, oh my god, how is she so bad? Yeah, we're not kidding. Tamimi's extremely niche. Yeah, her niche is called, we are trying to find any excuse to use this terrible character. I've been there. I'm a Project Red fan. Kirito and Texas come out. Haruka, lend me your strength. We're facing Chapter 5. Unironically, though. Ifrit, let's be real. Any questions on that? Actually, no. Ifrit is there. Ifrit is there, to be fair. Her DP cost massively holds her back. But any questions about this? Actually, would I say... No, I would say Mystima's better. Hang on. Now that I think about it. Red saved me in the last chapters. I love Project Red. It's just outside of Specialist Knights. There's no real reason to use her. She used to be amazing, but now we have Texas and Kirito. Maybe a bit too high, but valid. Yeah, I actually think Mystima is better than Ifrit because most situations other characters can do Ifrit's burst better. No one competes with Mystima in having infinite stun. I actually think all three of these are pretty competitive, but now that I actually think about it, every situation where Ifrit has been really amazing, other characters could have done her job. The situations where Mystima is amazing, no one else can do a job. Situations where Aya is amazing, she's better than Ifrit. Because they're both just about sustained damage with Res Shred. Aya's AoE is more convenient than Ifrit's range of lanes. Back in the day, I would potentially say Aya is worse than Ifrit way back when at launch, but these days I actually think she's fallen behind Mystima. Mystima's module's really good. Ifrit's a bit overrated, she's very good, but not always a must-bring. Yeah, it's more just a case of, the reason no one used Ifrit is she's a little inconvenient with her range and DP cost, and she's not that much better than most other characters who just do good sustained arts damage. Would you say KB's a must build? No, but KB's really, really fun. If you don't have a good caster, yes, level KB. If you have Logos, no other caster is a must build. The best two... Okay, mild spoilers. The best two casters in the game are Logos and Lapland the Decadenza. If you have those two, or either one of those two, level them, don't worry about anyone else. Everyone else is now optional. Can we send all Splash casters to the Shadow Realm? Apologies, unfortunately not Ike. I like Mystima, to be fair. And Lyn... No. Lyn has niche use case, but Lapland and Logos are must levels. That's the problem. Like, there are still other characters. KB is still a top 5, but she is incomparably worse than Logos in the overwhelming majority of content. Mystima competition's not even caster, it's Ascalon. I know, right? I just commented what's in that list. Welcome in, Hurin! I've explained my opinions, you've missed some of them, but you're welcome to debate any of them. Ami has true damage at least? Yeah, she has some niche. She's pretty solid. Nymph if you own Virtuosa and Mantra for Tragodia. I won't be counting synergies for the most part. KB Paralysis mod coming soon. I actually kind of like KB's Defense Shredder mod. KB's really good, and KB is also timeless. KB will never be bad. Ifrit and Aya will get hit more by power creep than KB. Because every time they power creep enemies, KB gets stronger. That's the thing, like, Aya and Ifrit stay the same. As enemies get power crept, KB gets stronger. Because she scales off of the enemy's stats. It's so stupid. I do agree if you have many better casters, you don't really need to use her, but if you want an AFK skill and having to find a straight line, I'd bring her. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, Ifrit is still extremely good. It's just she's on the lower end of extremely good. Where she is still definitively in the good section of the casters, of which there are not many. There are a few really amazing casters. Ifrit is one of those. It's just compared to the rest, she's worse. So the difference between her and everyone and Steward is about as large as the difference between Steward and Gitano. Like, there should be 3 blank tiers between solid and extremely good, pretty much. KB and CC better 3, exactly. Extinguished Sins KB, where she just insta-kills all of the enemies. Welcome in, OWAP! Lovely to have you! Welcome in, Wi-Fi! If there's an Ifrit tile, congrats, you win the stage. Yeah, pretty much. Stat check, yes. KB's gonna check your ass? Absolutely. Astgen. This is Astgen, right? Is it Astgen or Aesthesia? I always forget which one of them. Shit, is it Astgen or Aesthesia? Ifrit, my beloved? Yeah, we all love Ifrit. Shit. Which one was it? Which one? It's Astgen, right? Astgen? Hell yeah, brother! Okay, Astgen. What do I remember about a kid? It's really bad, right? Thank you all, I'm kind of stupid. From memory, by the way, really bad is still like here. The casters are so... I have no idea how they made so many utterly dogshit casters. Astgen is not good. Like, in any other class, Astgen would be in the bad tier. But for casters, the bar is so fucking low. She's fine. She's usable. She's sometimes even good. One might even say. I'm not too familiar with her, but she's better than Lazy. And Lazy is also about there. Astgen getting an altar but not Aesthesia. It would be funny if they gave us 4 altars in a single event. Welcome in, Pathalon! This one is beyond off. Look, I'm explaining myself. If you disagree, that's fine. I'm giving my justifications. If you disagree, that's absolutely fine. Astgen is not better than Marciel. I mean, she does... I would say her AoE is slightly better because it can bounce. Enemies don't clump up that often. I sound welcome in Mystic! I don't remember the kit, she sucks. No, like, I was trying to remember Aston's kit. From memory, she gains attack speed whenever she's on the battlefield permanently, and gets a slight attack speed boost and hits 2 targets at once, right? That's her kit. I remember her passive is actually kind of good. It's just the rest of her kit is eh. She doesn't have very good multipliers and just hits twice. Like, she does very solid damage, but her uptime isn't the best. 4-star ults, don't give him ideas, that would be funny. S2 Martial is almost equal to S... I haven't played with S2 Martial. To be fair, just to clarify, I have only ever tried Martial's S3. I haven't tried my Martial S2. So I am comparing it a bit, with a bit of knowledge missing. I do not know 100% of the casters. I only know most of them. Some of the newer ones, like Martial, I just have not gotten around to. Delicious and Dungeon, I haven't done any of their masteries. S2 Martial has good stuns. Okay, I trust you. No shitter, S3 is dog shit. It really is. It really, really is. I know her S3 is bad. I'm giving you guys, like... I trust all of you when you say her S2's good. I just can't compare it directly. So where she is exactly in this, I'm not 100% sure. Astisha is better... Oh, Asjean is better than Stuart in my opinion, but not quite as good as Amia. There is quite a gap between those two. Why is Praminix there? This is Praminix's caster version. It just wasn't included in this tier list for whatever reason. So I didn't want to fuck around with it, so we're just using normal Praminix. Praminix got an alter who is a Phalanx caster. So this is Praminix's Phalanx version. Martial top 5 are extremely good, I'd say. Second skill is beyond insane. I will give that a try. I'll try out Martial S2. I'll play around with it today or tomorrow. I'll let you know. For now, just consider Martial a little bit separate, where it's more in an I'm not sure category. But I'll give her a try. Because most of the others, I at least know what they do. I do not know what Martial S2 does. Martial at solid is good. Miu has a max plus mods 1. Okay, so some people agree with her placement. Some people think she's drastically better. We all agree she's better than Air, at least. Especially with her module, she's an AoE caster at the cost of a single target caster. Yeah, but AoE casters aren't necessarily good. Make a new tier called I don't know. Okay, how about she goes at the front of Air because I don't know. Everyone else is Air, but with Martial, it is the handshake of I don't know. How about that? We don't have Praminix alter yet. Yeah, but we've seen what she does. CN has Praminix alter. Did you put Leonhardt where he is because of his voice? No, I put him there because of his kit. So yeah, she is either solid, extremely good, or eh. And that depends, and I just haven't played with her enough. Ian still need to wait 6 months? Absolutely. Lazy! I have used Lazy. Lazy is worse than Aston. She's really fucking bad. Like, really, really bad. Sup, Mom? Welcome in, Pokums! How are you going? It's wonderful to have you. Martial with S2 is extremely good. If you already have Aya, she's similar. Okay, so yeah, she's similar to Aya. I'll trust you on that, but I'll play around with her. Just apologies. I won't be able to rank her specifically. Her and Mantra and a couple of the CN operators I just aren't as familiar with. But no, Lazy is so fucking bad. I really wanted to... It is so insulting how terrible Lazy is. I have her maxed out. I really love Lazy, but holy shit. What were they thinking? Her kid's so trash. She does no damage, has functionally no fucking passive. Her skills do nothing, and the uptime sucks. Okay, that's out of my system. That's out of my system. It's fine. Her ult's good. Yeah, her ult's fine. No way Lazy with module is worse than Caster, Amia, or Haze. I have Lazy with her module. I would say she's worse than Amia. You've got to understand something. Her SP uptime is from memory. It lasts 30 seconds, and it has an 80-second recharge, and the skill isn't even good. It's fine. She has a fine skill with, what is that, fucking 30% uptime? You need to wait a minute and a half to use it a second time. Haze's support, not pure DPS. I mean, is she though? Would you rather just use Ifrit in that case? Castamere is very solid. Yeah, Castamere gets slept on. Lazy doesn't compete with Logos as directly as most of the other casters, which is why she... it might be hard to sort of think about. But like Amiya, you also start the game with Amiya. If you start the game with Lazy, she still sucks. You start the game with Amiya, she's pretty good. Lazy's pretty, I agree with you. Piss Ginger. Now, this is an honorary ranking for Piss Ginger before I get onto the sincere one. At launch, Piss Ginger was disgustingly, insultingly bad. He is the reason we have the module system. Holy shit. What were they thinking? It was insane how atrociously terrible he is. As he is now, he's below Ifrit. He's fine. I'd actually put him more here, if I'm being honest. Passenger couldn't kill the slugs with his S3 on launch? No, he couldn't. Sometimes people just don't do the maths. Yeah, no, absolutely. People just do not do the maths and realize how critical he is. Now, the Godsinger memes are slightly overblown. He is only Godsinger in IS, where there are other operators who can also fill that exact role. As it stands, he's a solid operator. He used to be extremely good, but now that we have Logos and Lapland Alta, there's just less reason to use him. As with everybody else, he got hit by the Logos stick. Godsinger crashed my phone. Lamau. That's hilarious. And also, I'm so sorry. I never used him before his mod. I don't remember why he was so bad. Try taking off his mod and try him out. Like, set him back to his default mod. And remember, Passenger got the entire archetype reworked and buffed. So, as he is now without mod, he's still bad. And he's still drastically better than Launch Passenger. Welcome in, Alevum! Welcome in, Kiaras! Where's Reed? She's on the list. Don't worry about it. Without his mod, he's alright. On launch, he was worse. Yeah, he was so much worse. They changed how the entire archetype worked. Incredibly rare for them to do that. The only ones I can think of are Geeks and... Actually, yeah, isn't it just Geeks and Chaincasters? Aren't those the only two classes that have been reworked in the entirety of the game? Hi, welcome in, Alevum! Lovely to have you. He got the Echo Ultra treatment? Absolutely. Angelina's not on the list. Angelina's not a caster. She's very much a supporter. She's a team-wide buffer, debuffer who does some damage to contribute. Abjuras were reworked as well, were they? I was not aware of that. The geek change is much smaller. Yeah, they just made all of the geeks work more like Fear Meta, which is honestly a good change. The geek archetype, as it was, only worked when it was just Ak. Every other character it didn't work for, and then they realized, oh, we're gonna make more geeks, let's just remove it. It would be funny if they left Ak as was. I think that would be funny, but every other geek needed that. Geeks got a buff because they don't want to release Eku. No, it's also a case of the other geeks other than Eku were just atrociously bad. Blade Wolf theme? Absolutely, sir. I didn't know geeks were ever reworked. All they did was made it so that geeks can't kill themselves. Geeks can now only get themselves to 1 HP. Previously, they could kill themselves. Geeks were very capable of surtering themselves. That was what was very funny about it. Didn't they reduce the drain? Yes. Pudding. Pudding. Pudding, in my opinion, is here. In my opinion, Pudding is actually slightly better than Amiya. She's really solid. She's actually a really, really good character. Geek HP was reduced from 3% per second to 1%. Yeah, it's much noticeably not as bad. Like, Pudding is just a really solid caster with the AoE bounce niche. She takes advantage of Chaincasters really, really well. She fits the archetype perfectly. Astgen and Lazy were kind of shit. In my opinion, Pudding is actually better and more useful than most of them in some situations. Her damage is pretty good. Yeah, like, Astgen and Lazy don't do that much more damage than Pudding, and are more expensive to level, and are inconvenient, and are harder to get. Thanks to follow caps! Gigs now no longer self-delete them. Yes. And Module's one of the best of the chain classes. I know, right? What were they doing? Give it to the others! Give Pudding's module to Lazy and Astgen. Please. This is like how they gave Shongwa a module that buffed his SP gen and then didn't give it to Dagda or Indra. Why is supporter Praminix there? This tier list didn't have Caster Praminix. It's too recent. So I didn't want to add the asset, so this is just Caster Praminix. Praminix Ulta. Next up, we have Click. Welcome in, Dizichi. I'm gonna be so real. I'm gonna be so real. I do not like Click. Ever since the launch of the game, I have confused Click and Scene. And I know what both of them are. But even now, I frequently accidentally call them the wrong thing. I don't know why. It pisses me off. So I don't use either of them. So in terms of my personal rankings, I am more likely to use Tamimi than I am to use Click. However, I'm trying to be objective here. Click is very solid. In my opinion, not quite as good as Pudding, just because the archetype isn't as good, but a very, very solid caster. Definitely better than Stewart, definitely better than Aston. Click is a tad worse than Amiya. That's my impression as well. He would be higher up if Amiya wasn't guaranteed right at the start of the game. Is Click a boy or a girl? Click is a girl. I call him he, because Cassine is also a girl. I'm so fucking stupid. Click is very confident? Absolutely. We will not stand for Click slander. How many of you are standing right now versus sitting down? Be honest. That's what I thought. Click is CC, semi-global, and single target? Absolutely. But that also means Click is competing with characters who are better at many more things. Pudding just needs to be a decent DPS with a slow. Click needs to out-CC Ascalon. If that makes sense. Welcome in, Matters. Lovely to have you. Next up, Golden Glow. Now, there is exactly one reason Golden Glow is not in SSS tier. Can you guess what that reason is? Welcome in, Arisu! Welcome in, Zed! Welcome in, Adsmiras! Golden Glow, my girl? Absolutely. Laptop power creep? Yep. Prior to Lapland coming out, Golden Glow was here. Unfortunately, when you are the best of the best and someone who comes along who's slightly better, they take most of your use case. Golden Glow is still good, but in most situations, Lapland is slightly better, meaning if you have to pick one of them, you will almost always pick Lapland. There is very few use cases where she is distinctly better than Lapland. That is why. Lapland's targeting is also less dogshit. Why power creep and use them together? Oh, absolutely. I'd put a low SSS. She might go. SSS, I'm limiting myself to the top 5. She is the top of extremely good. So currently she's in the top 5, I'm just not sure if she'll stay there. GG was number 1 when she came out? Yes. Golden Glow was the best caster in the game when she came out, it's just that Lapland stole her entire fucking niche. Now you can talk about Lap as an insult? No, I'm not going to be insulting Lap. Don't worry, we're not quite up to it yet though. But yeah, she was number 1 when she came out, she's probably still top 5, I'm just not 100% sure. Because I don't already know the entire list of top 5 casters like I did some of the others. Lapland took her use cases and her mod, buddies. Welcome in, Arson. Absolutely. GG targets closest path to box. Scales better with attack speed. Yeah, but it's also weird. Like, she has use cases, but usually you just use Lapland. Only issue with Lappy is she gets stuck on things that can't die. Yeah, Golden Glow does the same, though. That's the problem. Golden Glow targets enemy defense, meaning she will always lock onto unkillable pillars. Golden Glow can't really compete with Aya for me. She has global range. That is the main use case she has that Aya doesn't. Aya's damage is better, but Golden Glow can attack them for much longer. Now, let's get Xera out of the way. I really like Xera. I really, really do. But I gotta be honest, she is slightly worse than Click. Not by much. When she works, the frozen debuff is really good, but it's just... In terms of DPS, Click is just better. Click... Look, let's just be real. Click is better than Xera. I don't like it, but it is. She's also fun. She is. She is my go-to. I don't use Click, I use Xera. As my go-to, especially for, like, SSS. She's usable? Yeah, she's absolutely fine. She's a pretty solid character. She does good damage. Basically, if I had to rank these based off of archetype, the Mecha Chord casters are the best caster. Just by default. Every Mecha Chord is fine. Well, most Mecha Chords. Overall, generally the Mecha Chords have proper stat spreads and good multipliers. I can hear my friend who plays nearly every max spot unit who loves Xera. Yeah, look, I also love Xera, Zed. I also really love Xera. It's just she's not good. I just gotta be honest about it. I'm building her now to use with Santala. She's very fun. Next up, hot take. Lapland Alta is actually better than Logos. I'm being completely dead ass. Think about it. Genuinely. All of you, stop and think about it. If you are ever taking one caster, you take Lapland. Logos is slightly less convenient to use. That's it. Like, theoretically, Logos is better. It's just Lapland is so much more convenient. You deploy Lapland, you activate a S3, an entire wave of enemies die. Logos can do the same thing, but it's got like range restrictions. You have to play around his skill timings. You don't need to care with Lapland. You activate a S3 anytime it's up and you never pay attention. Welcome in, Dylan! Lovely to have you, because the range, absolutely. Lapland is best girl, so she's fixed to be a best caster. Exactly, exactly. Nothing's more convenient than an AFK death zone. I know, right? Global's more flexible. Yeah, it's like Logos power crept every single caster in the game, and then Lapland came out, and now there are 2 casters in the game. It's pretty insane. Hell yeah, Lapland's the top. This is my genuine opinion. In my opinion, Lapland is the best caster in the game. I have so many times taken Lapland over Logos just because she's more convenient. She just does the same job, but it's easier. It's really easy. That's like saying a burger's better than a salad because it's tastier? Yeah, that's a good analogy. Knight, if you're out and about and you've just had a night at the pub with the lads, are you gonna sit down and find a salad bar, or are you gonna grab a burger? You're gonna grab a burger. It doesn't matter that the salad's technically better. What you want right now is the burger. That is a perfect metaphor, because most people will choose the burger. I'd still rank Logos over her, because Lap S3 is the only good thing, while all 3 of his are cracked. Logos is really versatile, it's just Lapland is the go-to. It's more a situation of the way I think about this, Neko. The default is Lapland, and then if there's a situation Logos is good, you'll use him instead. But the default is Lapland. You start with Lapland, and then you need to justify Logos. That is why, for me, Lapland is better. Welcome in, Cabs. I agree. Same. Next up, so, you know how I needed to amend about all of them being good? All of the Mecha Chord casters being good? It's Minimalist. Has anybody here even used Minimalist? Anyone? Have you ever tried him? He's not very good. Use him in IS? Yeah, he's like... To clarify, actually, you know, this really does back up what I was saying about Mecha Chord casters. Now that I think about it, he's still like the top of air. Now that I think about it, he's still definitely better than Lazy, and Haze, and Santala, and Dusk. So I really do feel validated about my Mecha Chord casters take. Because when I actually stop and think about it, that's where he goes. Minimalist better start drone maxing because he's kind of R-looking. I know, right? Only reason I built him is I was running a male-only squad. Hilarious. He's not even the Ben Twink Knights. They're prettier twinks. Yeah, like Logos. Rock. Exactly. So, now we need to rank Rock. So first off, we have Rock with her S1, which is Rock, not to be confused with Rock. She gains an attack buff. It's okay. And she increases her attack speed. She is just, like, slightly better Minimalist, maybe, here. So, there is Rock. And now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on to Rock. Rock, on the other hand, the Overload mechanic, she's one of the only characters who actually makes use of it, and her S2 is pretty solid. It's not quite as versatile as Kajera, who has a debuff. It's just a little more DPS. But it's definitely something. I've used both. I love her design, except for how Gooner it is. And I can actually confirm that Kajera is better than Rock, making Minimalist the indisputed worst. I thought you said Mudrock and Caster tier list. Yeah, okay, so where would we put Mudrock? That's a valid idea. In defense of a Minimalist, a solo 40% base skill is really rare. Yeah, but it's also bad because you need all of the other Durans being deployed actively. Rock is dressed to impress Stainless, apparently. I didn't know Rock is worse than Rock. Yeah, she is. She absolutely is. So there's where Rock goes, and there's where Rock goes. That'd be cool if Mudrock was a Shaper caster. It would be. Shaper casters would be cool, except for the fact that the reason Mudrock doesn't summon her golems is it kills her, lore-wise. So that's why Rhodes Island and Mudrock doesn't use her golems. She is the best non-6-star chord caster. In my opinion, Click and Kajera both outperform her. From personal use cases. I've played around with Kujera and Rock, so I can't compare with Quick. But Rock has some minor downsides. She gets stunned on her S2 if you use it as a DPS thing, which basically just makes her slightly inconvenient. If Mudrock ever gets an Ultra Herb she's a summoner, it would be
Monsieur
fun.
Yamir to judge your
Welcome
routine
in,
of my
Az!
French girl Harmony,
Harmony,
and I
don't worry, we'll
reduce
get to
each
Harmony.
force.
We'll get to Harmony. We will. Rock doesn't have CC. Yeah, it's more a case of Kujera has crowd control, Rock doesn't. So Kujera has sort of inherent use cases where DPS isn't the only factor. Rock is only good when DPS is the only factor, and there are better DPSs. That's sort of my argument, if that makes sense. Next up, Phalanx Casters. This one will be nice and quick. Beeswax. If you like her, she's fine. That is the most generous statement I can give Beeswax. If you like her, she's about on par with Dusk. It's okay. She's a tanky caster, and when she's in attack mode, she summons something to draw the enemy's attacks instead of her. It is a functional kit that is well thought out, it just wasn't particularly strong. Oh, thank you so much for the sub, Caps. That's very sweet of you. I'm glad you're having fun, man. Rock's very into rock music. So true, so true. Beeswax is the best Phalanx caster? No, she's not. She's not the best. She's not the best. She's fine. It's more a case of her niche isn't very good, or she doesn't have the tools for her niche. And she herself is good in her niche, but her niche isn't good. Carnelian. Actually, you know what? Let me think about it more. There we go. There we go. Carnelian is slightly better than Holyak. Because when you use Carnelian's S3, even though it takes 10 years to charge, at least it kills enemies. Carnelian at least kills enemies. Her skill does okay damage, it's just the uptime is fucking terrible. But if you can somehow use her skill, it's okay. It's not even good, it's just acceptable. It's backloaded damage? Yeah, her most powerful hit is the final one. It's not good. Like, this is the most generous interpretation of Carnelian I can give you. Ain't no way she's ranked higher than Gitano. So you've got to understand something, Pokums. Gitano stuns herself. Carnelian goes back to being tanky. So basically, they both stun themselves, except Carnelian gains a defense boost. And at least has, like, a theoretical use case. Gitano, the biggest problem is that you start with Amir and Steward. That's the biggest problem with Gitano. She does not have the stats to make up for that. Late game, Carnelian does. She's just very fringe. Welcome in, Viva! Carnelian moved to S2. I misspoke. What the hell is that Doro chibi? Do you mean the one with Starlight Solari's face? Wait, I can probably make these a little bigger, actually. I had them smaller because I was recording shit. There you go. Oh, and Lynn's Summer for 2nd anniversary. They'll make it an altar. You already know. Carnelian does negative damage. No, Carnelian actually does hit pretty hard. Her final hit of her S3 hits about 9,000 damage. Like, Carnelian has a lot of problems, but where credit is due, her actual damage is good. It's just got like 7 asterisks. Carnelian has a lot of things holding her back, but at core, she does her job. Gitano does not. Gitano doesn't kill shit. I've tried using Gitano. She just does no damage. If Carnelian's skill gets used when there's an enemy that deals damage to ranged tiles, she dies. Yeah, but that's usually not a case. It's nowhere near as bad as Haze. She can still tank 1 or 2 hits, Cinny. Yeah, Carnelian's damage isn't her issue. It's everything else. Next up, we have Lynn. In my opinion, that is my genuine opinion. Lynn is really weird. She's really strange. But she's actually really good. When she is good, she is functionally immortal. Like, I don't use Lynn often, but every single time I do, I'm pleasantly surprised by how good she is. This is only with her module. To clarify, Lyn without her module is here. She's fine. She has some good damage. She's just Carnelian with less bad skill up times. With her module, she is insane. Because a lot of ranged enemies do not do enough damage to break her shield, especially with her S3 active, making her functionally immortal while also upping her damage numbers. She's good, but she's not that good. I will be considering her place. She's not locked in. I will consider her, Aya, and Golden Glow at the end if she doesn't get kicked out. But she's definitely, in my opinion, above Mystima. There are more situations where Lyn is ridiculously good than there are Mystima, and I'm a massive Mystima fan. It's basically, a good way to put it, Lyn is pretty much a ranged, slightly discounted Ulpianus. There are some situations where you need a tanky ranged unit. There's not many, but there are some. And you just deploy Lyn and she doesn't die. So no one can really do her job outside of her. Carnelian dies, Beeswax dies, or summons the pillar and then die. Mint is dog shit. We'll get to her soon. But no one else in the game can really do Lyn's job of just completely face-tanking damage as a ranged DPS. She has good synergy with Axe, she does. You can get Ling right now, she's in current banner. She's absolutely not a must-pull. It's more a case of Golden Glow has to compete with Lapland. Lyn is the only character in the game who doesn't compete with Logos. Like, actually stop and think about it. She is the only caster whose use case is good and not being power crept by Logos. And even then, that's with an asterisk, because that's only against physical damage. Ranged damage, Logos is competing with her with his S2. I've needed it for Trials for Navigator 5. Yeah, Trials for Navigator 5, one of the CCs, Reef Breaker. Yeah, there are some situations where Lyn is really, really good. She was critical in one of the contingency contracts, and that wasn't a case of someone like Hung where you wanted a low attack healer. This was, it just happened to play into her niche of wanting to tank ranged damage units. You could also use a normal defender. Yeah, but there are some situations you want a ranged defender. There's not many of them. What's KB doing up there? KB is the only one of the launch operators who gets better every time they power creep. KB will never be power crept. Aya and Ifrit have not changed how good they are versus enemies over the years. KB just keeps getting better. I will debate later on, once we're done the list, because there's a chance Lyn gets kicked down to here and there's two more. So we'll get to that either way. It is either Lyn or Golden Glow as the 5th best caster. In my opinion, it's Lyn because Golden Glow has to complete with laptop. So it's a niche? Yes, but golf. She is the best at her niche. The indisputed best at her niche. Lyn is usually better at tanking global range enemies than Hoshiguma. She is the default best at her niche. And it's not a niche in the sense of, oh, it's Tuesday and there's a flying enemy with high res, low defense. Can you put Holyak behind Turin? Welcome in, Plum. You know what? Just for you, just for you. No, just kidding. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, Holyak at least has 6-star stats, which makes her better than Durin. But how are you going, man? Lovely to have you. And thanks for the follow, Elric. Glad you're having fun. KB gets upscaled the stronger the enemy gets. Yeah. Have you noticed how a lot of contingency contracts no longer have increased enemy defense by 100%? That used to be a very common tag. And then they realized KB. Wishdale's the best range tank? No, Wishdale still dies to AoE. Lyn does not. She can completely ignore it. Next up, Mint. Holy shit. It is so offensive how terrible Mint is. Is she worse than Gitano? Yes. Is she worse than Aroma and Carcerum? Yes. Is she worse than 12F? Yes. Is she worse than Nightmare? No. But only barely. For anybody who doesn't know, which is all of you, because why would you use her? Mint's gimmick is that she very lightly pulls enemies. As in a pull force of 0. It's really fucking bad. So how is Skyfire this high? When I do Victoria Nights, I use Mint more often. Yeah, so in Victoria Nights, this tier list doesn't apply. Because you have other sources of AoE damage. And you have better sources of stun. But Mint is just like, her kit is so bad. I can't believe that she doesn't gain pull force with her masteries. Mint was very funny. Yeah, she is very funny, but it's also really bad. She can reverse push, and that can come in handy in IS3. It can come in handy sometimes. It's just like, here's how I think of Mint. There are a handful of situations where she's good, but every other situation, she is terrible. At peak, she has pull 1. That makes her the worst pull pusher in the game. She has 2 gimmicks and does both badly. Yeah, pretty much. She sucks as a phalanx caster, and her pulling is bad. If you get her a lot of attack speed, and the enemies are low weight, she can infinitely stall enemies. In that situation, it is still better to kill them, and there are still better stallers. Mint would have been better if she was a 4-star. If Mint was a 4-star, in my opinion, nothing else changed except stats being adjusted. Mint would be here, if she was a 4-star. But a 5-star is so fucking expensive to level, and she is just not worth the cost. Thank you, Stan. That's very, very sweet. That's very kind of you. That's very kind of you. Okay, so, put Holkiak at the bottom of the tier list. How dare you insinuate I would ever be bribed? Either way, so let's move on to Praminix. You know, I would never be bribed like that. How could you dare slander my good name? But, like, actually, low-key, I want you to know, deadass, I was being generous by putting Holkiak in bad. In my opinion, she is the worst caster in the game. It is insulting how much they fumbled her kit. Hydrate? Yes, sir. Genuinely, this is not actually related to the bride. Holkiak had a really cool kit, and they fumbled everything. The uptime, the skills, the skill effects, the skill targeting, her stats! It drives me up the wall, because I wanted her to be good I wanted her to be so good, and she just wasn't. The biggest positive of Mint is she's very cute. She is. Mint is extremely cute. You know what's funny? Her S2 does more damage than the S3. I know, it's so stupid. She has such a good design, but she's so ass. Yeah, it's more like, if you count how good her design is, she comes down here. They absolutely fumbled that design. That was such an amazing design. I wish her tornadoes could penetrate. I know, right? Like, why don't they? If her tornadoes penetrated, she would be good. She wouldn't be game-breaking. She would be functional. If her S3 tornadoes went the whole way, slowly levitating everybody, in one of those, like, hand waves you do at a concert, she would be a fine, acceptable 6-star. I'd make a crass joke. Yeah, she is breedable. Like, literally the definition. I have her maxed, don't do it. Yeah, it's just... People who level Holhiak only do because they like her. I should know because I have my Holhiak leveled. Hulk's design is everything I'm weak to in a woman, but mad, I'm so sad she's shit. Exactly. It's more a case of... Holkiak would not be as offensive if her design wasn't this amazing. That's the problem. Her design is one of the best in the game. And it's wasted on that dog shit. She would be even decent if she was a 5-star and good if she was a 4-star. But for a 6-star, her tornadoes needed to penetrate. God bless LM7. Exactly. Now, Praminix. This is Praminix Ultra. Just in case anyone's confused, this is Praminix Ultra. We're talking Pram Ultra, not normal Praminix. Holyak got me into Arknights, then I found out how bad she is. I'm so sorry for you, Zorathos. I'm so sorry for you. I feel your pain. Now, Praminix Ultra. She's not quite as versatile as Logos, but she's more fun than Logos. So depending on if you value meta or fun more, these two are interchangeable. Praminix is really fucking fun, and she is insanely strong. She makes leaks functionally impossible. She basically turns off the ability to lose. She makes the blue box a fucking blocker. She disables the lose condition. It's so silly. Is she that good? Yeah, she's absolutely incredible. She is really, really good. To the point where Silver Ash is not definitively the better character. There's at least talk, despite Silver Ash being amazing. There are other Leverator operators that are low rarity that do Pierce. Holyak is a fucking 6-star. Exactly. If they just made Holyak Pierce, like, why didn't they just make it so in her IS module, Holyak Typhon's pierced. Boom. Fixed. I'll still find a way to lose with her. Plum. She gives the blue box a block count. As in, like, Hoshiguma level tanky blocker. While attacking and debuffing the enemy. I can't read, you don't need to read. It activates automatically. She freezes the blue box. Yeah, it is very fun. Hello, South. Welcome in, Hexter! Lovely to have you. Unblockable enemies can help the Zero Sanity players. Yeah. Unblockable enemies. Praminix's only weakness. Next up, we have Delphine. This is another case similar to Holhiak where they wasted an absolutely incredible design on something dogshit. Holhiak S3 should have had continuous attacking. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. She can solo several annihilations. I'm not surprised. She's fundamentally invincible, and also is a ranged unit with blockers that are very convenient and won't lock enemies out of her range, unlike Rosmontas. She's a good character, but I put her in extremely good because they're better. In my opinion, no. That's obviously up to debate, but like, we definitely agree she is at minimum top 10 in the game. You know what I'm saying? Just whether or not she's top 5. Will Neon increase block count for blue blocks? They don't count as operators, so no. Same as Link's Dragon. I realized SP batteries exist that can charge that for Affinity. Yeah. Now, actually, now that I think about this, yeah, okay, let me fix this. I now remember what the full tier list will look like. In my opinion, Lyn is better than Golden Glow, but she's absolutely not top 5. Thorn's S1 heals the blue box. I know, it's so stupid. I'd put her higher than Laply. I personally think Lapland's AFK Knights is just better, because she spawn camps the enemies versus reverse spawn camping with Praminix. So I still think a lot of people will default to Lapland, personally. But obviously she isn't out on EN yet, so we can't say either way definitively. But yeah, sorry, let me fix up Lyn. Now, let's be real. I really love Delphine. For her class, Delphine is okay. For the archetype, Delphine is okay. But man, is she fucking terrible. Does she shoot low or high HP? She shoots high HP. She doesn't attack enemies below 50%, so she won't kill anyone. And also she does damage over time, which is terrible, given her entire archetype is based on burst damage. However, fundamentally, she takes advantage of her archetype and does solid burst damage. That's it. If you like her, she's functional. Actually, to be fair, let me put her here. That feels better. She's worse than Haze, in my opinion. Like, she's usable, but Haze is better in most situations. Next up, Abenholtz. You might be thinking, oh, South, Abenholtz is better than Delphine, right? No. Abenholtz is a 6-star with 4 modules. And he can barely outperform a 5-star welfare. That is insulting. S2 burn is meant to kill off survivors. It just doesn't. That's the problem. It just doesn't. What do you mean barely? Look, he's not that much better. He's like 20 to 30% better. But he's a 6-star with lots of modules. They keep reworking him. Oh, no, you're right. Sorry, it's 3. It's 3 modules. I was counting the no module. That's my bad. So, no. In practice, yes, he's better, but he's so much more expensive, and it's so embarrassing. As it stands, let's be objective, though, he's a solid 6-star. After, like, 30 retcons, emergency patches, and new modules, they finally made him decent. Not even good. Currently crying, my goat is so ass. Yeah, I wanted to like Abenholtz. He had such a sweet story, but holy shit. You should try one-shotting Sentinel with Delphine. It would not work. I'm quite aware of that. Too much investment for mere performance? Exactly. It's more a case of, like, in a vacuum, assuming you already have every character leveled, Abenholtz would be about here, up or down from Pudding. But the problem is he's so expensive. Can you actually look, you guys, and tell me that maxing out Abenholtz, including multiple modules, is worth it for his level of performance? As if there weren't enough reasons to hate Gachapon, they can't actually rework characters. I know, right? The GOAT is very much not the GOAT. Yeah, it's tragic. He had such a fun story, and they did him so fucking dirty. He's actually fraudulent. The one-shot man? Yeah, he does have a few fun use cases for one-shots. He is fun. It's just, he's not good. He's good for one-player relay or funny one-shots, nothing else. Yeah, exactly. He's just... I would not consider Abenholz better than Steward. That is my genuine opinion. 3-star Steward mobbing on Aben. Yeah, look, you might think I'm joking. More of you and me, we use Steward more often than Abenholz. Because Steward is good in IS. Put Olyak in S for the sake of bet. Okay, how about this, Neko? How about this? How about this? Sex. Snegs. How about that? Are you content with that? Are you content with that? Because then the tier list keeps its shape, but we also respect it. Maxing 3 stars only costs like 100k. Exactly. Also, thank you so much for the $2. That's very sweet of you. Sex plus. Yeah, you know what? Let's actually go. Let's actually go Sex plus. Like, let's be real here. The reason we like Holhyak is she is outrageously hot. That's it. Also, welcome into Miki. Lovely to have you. But no, if you're not happy with that, by the way, Neko, you can let me know and I'll move it to SSS. I will fix it briefly to take a screenshot of unbiased, because I post them in my Discord, but then I will leave them back, just outside of that. Dormant craving, she dormant on my craving until I snegs plus. Carnelian and Mint and Segs, I do feel like Carnelian is also a contender, but realistically, Carnelian is hot. Okay, look, Carnelian, you think is a 10 out of 10, and then you see Holhyak, and you go, okay, Carnelian's now a 6 out of 10. Regardless of how attracted to Carnelian you were, you see Holhyak and you just go, okay, you are now my second choice. I thought you'd put plus 18. Yeah, that is also viable. Snegs to just be for snakes, so Tamimi. Tamimi looks underage. She's not, but she looks it. Lappy's still hotter. That's personal preference. Okay, now next up, Harmony. Now, what I will say, Harmony, much like Delphine, is fine. In my opinion, Harmony's skills are slightly better. Not enough to make... I actually think she's about here. Harmony is better than Delphine. Not by much, but she is. Her skills are weird and usually not worth using, because her having a random slow DOT instead of attacking goes against the core traits of a Mystic Caster, but she does respectable damage with it, unlike Delphine's damage over time. It's actually pretty respectable damage. My Harmony use is mostly that true AoE slow. Yeah, like, her AoE slow on her S2 is good. It's just, it doesn't really fit with a Mystic Caster. So she goes from a decent Mystic Caster with good stats to a pretty useful slow, but they don't really fit well together. I love all the Holhyak's artists in the world so much. Absolutely. And no worries if she's not your cup of tea, Sten. That's absolutely fine. Hello there. Welcome in, Willy Ram. Skill 2, dealing fixed damage is such a negative. Yeah, but at the same time, it's decent fixed damage. Like, she's fine. She's definitely better than Delphine, as much as I prefer Delphine. I massively, massively prefer Delphine, but she is just better, unfortunately. Next up, we have Indigo. Indigo is trash. Iris is also trash. Indigo is actively bad. The only use case for Indigo is that she applies Bind, and you sometimes get her for free in IS. You will only ever use her if she's free. She's not trash. I have used Indigo before. To be fair, I've not used Indigo with her module. How good is her module? She's better than Delphine. I've not used her with her module. I never got Indigo's module. Before her module, she was absolutely fucking terrible. How is she with her module? Her mod is insane? Okay. On mod makes her bind more? Okay, so it leans into her strengths. Okay, then I'll put her in solid. Because some 4-star modules are really goated, and I've heard that quite a bit. That was my rating. My rating of Indigo is based off of not having a module. Without a module, she's utter dog shit. So, I'll put her towards the piss ginger tier. It's like Ethan mod, gotcha. I still use her and say blasphemy. No, without her module, she is not good. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Harmony only attacks blocked enemies during S2, and I guess slowing makes enough time to store up more attacks. It's a weird skill. It just has uses. Whenever I use Harmony, I don't go out of my way to use Harmony, but whenever I use her, she surprises me. Delphine, I want to use her, and then she ends up being bad. Harmony ends up being better than I expected. That's all. Then we have Iris. Iris is Indigo, but Sleep Knights. I was gonna put Iris directly above Indigo, but because Indigo got a good module, Iris didn't, let me tell you. The most notable thing Iris does is if you're using the incredibly inconvenient Rosmontas combo in your base, like I do, Iris increases that by 5%. I E2'd my Iris for that, and then tried to huff copium by using her? No, she's just as bad as you're imagining. Every single person who said she's bad, they're understating it. She's so atrociously bad. What the fuck were they cooking? They didn't burn down the stove. They got a live chicken and couldn't figure out how to, like, butcher it. They just had a chicken walking around in the kitchen. And they never got past that step. They got stuck there. Live chicken. I guess we'll keep it as a pet now. They never got to the stage of attempting to cook to fuck it up. At least her S2 makes sense. Yeah, but it's still not good. Blaze Ultra is so reliant on Yer, and Yer doesn't need her. Fave ruined. Yeah, Blaze Ultra's a bit of a weird one. She was the test bed? Yeah, but Capo was the test bed. Contrail was the test bed. Just because you're the test bed doesn't mean, like, you get to be shit. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, Blaze. Blaze has a lot of competition. Blaze does have a lot of competition. And she's inconvenient to use. However, I would say Blaze, because of her burst damage, is slightly better than Piss Ginger. Only slightly. In my opinion, she is bottom of extremely good or top of solid. She needs Yer. However, when you use her, she does just delete shit. She's not the only option. That is her biggest problem. Other characters work with Yer drastically better than she does. But as a baseline combo, you'll only be disappointed in Blaze if you know of those better combos. In any other situation, you'll think, holy shit, that was a lot of damage. Ain't no way she's standing next to Ifrit. Okay, I'll put her in front of Passenger then. There's a permastun strat. Yes, the permastun is also incredibly goofy. Plus the fact that if she dies, it's very fringe, but if you fuck up and she dies, she doesn't get retreated, and you can salvage the situation, which is just nice. It shouldn't be necessary, but it means a mistake turns from an instant run loss to salvageable. It's just convenient to play around. Hi, my connection died. Welcome back, Gulping! Lovely to have you. But no. Piss Ginger is sort of a versatile character that does a lot. Blaze Ultra does one thing really well, and in Arknights, you generally want a character to do one thing really well, rather than a lot of things mediocre. Welcome in, Holyak! Oh man, hey, how do you feel about this Holyak ranking? I had fun with Blaze and Hannah Mystery. Yeah, Blaze is just fun and good. It's not that she's amazing, it's just anytime you pick up Blaze, she will do exactly what you expect, and do it well. She's just a baseline decent caster. If this was not casters, she would be bad. But you've got to keep in mind how low the bar is for casters. Would you rather have Blaze or Carnelian? You'd rather have Blaze. Would you rather have Blaze or Dusk? You'd rather have Blaze. Would you rather have Blaze or Astion? You'd rather have Blaze. Would you rather have Blaze or Indigo? Most situations you'd rather have Blaze, because generally killing an enemy is better than stalling them. Even without the burn proc? Yeah, even without the burn proc, her damage is okay. Her mod didn't fix shit? No, it didn't. In my opinion, Blaze will never get higher than absolute bottom of extremely good or top of solid. That is her absolute peak. She will fall off over the years. She will never get better than she is right now. Ain't no way, it's Miss Snex herself. Exactly. Okay, now next up, Diamante. I gotta be so real. This entire archetype is so inherently flawed. I'm not surprised there are characters like Mantra who can ignore that. But primal casters are really not good. Because they inherently rely on a different character. And the problem with that is that it's usually like, would you rather have Diamante and Yer? Or Lapland Alter and Yer? Or would you rather just like bring Schwartz for an extra bit of nuke? Combo teams, while cool, don't really work, and unlike Blaze, who just has the raw stats of a 6-star to make up for that and be a decent standalone unit, Diamante 100% relies on the combo. In my opinion, he is actually just bad. You cannot really use him outside of the combo. He can't proc burn himself, even with his S1. He is fucking nothing? Yeah. I got him free a few times in IS, and it was so disappointing. Like, it's gotten to the stage where I will usually pick Steward over Diamante in IS when I get a free version. Like, if my starting 5-star is Diamante, I take Steward instead. That is the level of dog shit we're dealing with. I'd pick Lappy and CE. I feel like that's waifu-based, to be fair. Mantra, this is one I'm not 100% sure of, much like Marcial. Everything I've heard about her is that she is exceptionally, insanely good. I will put her there. There is a chance she's in the top 5. I don't know. I don't know her kit yet. I have not yet been able to play around with Tragodia. So while in theory I know how amazing they are, because I haven't seen it in practice and limit tested myself, I can't trust that. For the same reason as basically when Chen Alta came out, people overhyped her. So that could be happening here. I'm not 100% sure. But for what it's worth, I completely understand for people who would want to put her in top 5. Mantra has stupidly large numbers, so high it isn't worth using Tragodia. Bro. That's fucking insane. That's only for single target? Gotcha, gotcha. She's an elite operator? Absolutely. Mantra's like good but situational? Yeah. I'm putting her here for now because things like that. I just got Mantra is the best caster in the game. She's and she's really amazing, but not super, like, not absolute top tier, which are all 3 options. So I'm putting her here. This is another one of those. I'm being completely honest. I cannot weigh this correctly. What I've heard, she is an exceptionally good caster. Probably not as versatile as someone like KB. Probably. But I've not tried her out myself, so she comes with a question mark. Diamante being duct taped to Necrosis makes him flawed. Yeah, especially because Virtuoso does not need a buffer. You just use Virtuoso. Been lurking? Welcome, Chris! Lovely to have you. She's very good but below top 5. Yeah, that's my personal opinion of her kit, but again, I haven't tried her, I haven't really seen her. How'd I come back to this? Welcome in, Lesser! Put Christine next to Holhiak? No, Christine does not go in the sex tier. No, it's a cat. It's a cat, sir. I'm not doing that. Cat should go in snacks? No, we're not furries here. I know we play Arknights. I know we play Arknights. But no. In my opinion, Miss Christine has the same problems as Diamante, but her base kit is better. So in my opinion, she's here. I'd actually put her above Rock. She is a good standalone character. It's just she's designed for synergy, but she's not really needed in the synergy. But my understanding of Miss Christine, her kit is actually pretty solid, sort of like Gracebearer, where they just have enough stats to act as a standalone character, even though they're intended to be a synergy character. Do not snegs the cat? Exactly. You're a cat too? What are you talking about? HG was scared to give primals enough numbers to be worth using? Exactly. They were scared to give us that, and then they gave us Mantra. So it is what it is. How about Praminix Alter would you consider? Praminix Alter is here. Normal Praminix is Praminix Alter. Apologies. From what I hear, she's kind of based. Yeah, she is very based. She has better stats than Diamante. She is just fundamentally Diamante, what Diamante should have been, where it's actually usable and kind of fine. No, she is not above Rock in my use of her. Her kit's odd. That's what I'm leaning to as well. It's just, I feel like Miss Christine has a higher barrier to entry, but also a higher skill ceiling. Rock offers a lot of really good raw damage, but some drawbacks. I would definitely put her above Abenholtz because as a 5-star, the bar is lower. I've maxed out Miss Christine based. First beast launch is meta. Yeah, lore-wise. Now, Nymph. I have not... I haven't gotten around to leveling my Nymph yet. I haven't gotten around to leveling my Nymph yet. She's below Marcial. Marcial is another question mark, where I just haven't played her enough. However, I'm well aware of what Nymph does, and that is my rating of her. She used to be higher than this, but now Tragodia does most of her job. Nymph would be behind Golden Glow? Yeah, absolutely, sir. Nymph is a very solid DPS character with good stalling potential. It's just I haven't leveled mine. So this is not 100% locked, but I'm relatively confident, because unlike Mantra, I do know 100% of what she does, unlike Mantra and Marcial. It's just I haven't leveled mine before. I have played around with her. Would be SSS before Tragodia? Yes. Prior to Tragodia, in my opinion, she would be here, because infinite stalling, which is ridiculous. I'm waiting for the Necras slander. I want you to know I really like Necras. However, she... You know what? We're not up to Necras yet. We have one more. I know you can't see him because of all of the extra tiers I've added. We have one more, and then we have Necras. So, Warmy. Warmy is just discount Miss Christine. She's... She's fine. Burn is not as good as Necrosis, and Warmy's kit is not as good as Miss Christine's. She's definitely better than Diamante, but that's really not much to write home about. It's really just choosing different flavors of not very good. But in my opinion, that is where Warmy goes. She's slightly better than Diamante. Caster subgenres are pretty bad. Yeah, most casters are terrible. Mechacords is the only consistently good genre. To be real, we prefer the real cat over a rabbit girl. Oh, absolutely, 100%. I'm still angry Blaze is not good. I hate the devs. Oh, she's fine. But yeah, like, I consider Blaze good, but not amazing, if that makes sense. The problem is, at launch, Blaze would have been top tier because of how dog shit most of the casters were. But Blaze came out after a lot of characters who are really good. Like, Blaze has to compete with Laptop and Logos. What the fuck's up with that? So sad, Warmy had to wait 9 months. It is. Miss Christine also piggybacks on Tragodia. Exactly. Miss Christine piggybacks on Tragodia. Warmy piggybacks off of Year. Tragodia is better than Year. They're both really good. Tragodia is better. Blaze ult came after Logos. I know, right? It's so fucking disgusting. Blaze is very good. Elemental damage and survivability is a good niche. Yeah, Blaze is good. It's just she's not convenient. She's not amazing. She's just good. She's a very good character. It's just... She came out... It's like how... Okay, look. Here's a good comparison for how people feel about Blaze. How do you feel about Ascalon? She's really good, right? Ascalon's really amazing. A lot of people don't know that, or skipped her entirely. Because she came out directly before Wishadel and Logos. As in, weeks before. Both times! She had to compete with literal best character in the game contenders. So even though she's arguably the best specialist in the game, she just had so much competition. Next up, El Banana. The one Mexico representation. She's very pretty. In my opinion, she is better than Blaze. But only barely. My wife Mint at the bottom. Look, welcome in Wishful. I really like Mint, but she is just not good. Still skipped her for Ascalon. She's amazing. Based. Ascalon is absolutely amazing. I agree with that. How the fuck is she not extremely good? I think she's either top of solid or bottom of extremely good. The problem with Ablana is she does have a lot of inconvenient drawbacks. She frequently locks enemies out of her range. Sometimes she'll spawn her summon in a weird spot. It'll use its skill in a weird timing and do nothing. She just has drawbacks. She's very fun to use, and the kit's really cool. It just needed a bit of tweaking. How is she worse than Ifrit? Ifrit ignores 50% of res. It's nowhere near as good as it used to be, where Ifrit was the best caster in the game. But Ifrit is really good. It's just she has competition. Ablana doesn't have competition similar to Lyn. It's just her niche isn't as defined. Ablana competes with normal blockers. Lyn competed with nobody. So she's still a really amazing character and the best at her niche. It's just usually you'd prefer to use a blocker. Shaper casters can't lock enemies out of the range. Yeah, I remember that. It is such a massive improvement off of Rosmontus, where they can still hit any enemy that is blocked, even if it's in the last tile. I'm very, very glad for that. What I mean is more like they can spawn their summons in weird positions. I misphrased it. She overpowers through raw stats, but it's the same problem Ling has. They don't synergize. Yeah, that's a better way of explaining it. In theory, Ablana is kind of like a slightly discounted Ling, where yes, she's amazing, but she's also just inconvenient to use, because she doesn't really synergize with the rest of the cast of the game. I've used Ablana too much, I guarantee she's amazing. Oh, absolutely! But just to clarify, my lowest rating of Ablana was the best character in Solid. I just thought maybe that was slightly too close to Ifrit. As someone who uses her frequently now, her mod is out, which increases her DPS by 50%. I'd say she's over Aya. Her mod's not out in EN, right? I hadn't heard about that. Okay, maybe with mod she'll go much higher. If that is legitimately a 50% DPS increase, she's absolutely higher. Because the biggest problem she has is that she's a little complex, and while she's good, she doesn't have quite enough payoff to make up for her skill ceiling. It is out on EN? Never mind, I just haven't heard anything about it. Oh, it just came out, gotcha. She's awesome but clunky. Yeah, that's how I feel about her. She's really good. She has a very fun minigame, and I love minigame operators. If we were ranking based off of fun, she would be here, in my opinion. In terms of fun, she is easily top 3 in the game, not even just in casters. She is ridiculously fun kit-wise, it's just inconvenient. She hits like a truck. Yeah, but whenever I use her, she sometimes hits like a truck and other times burns all of her summon skills on weird angles at one enemy and then has nothing for the big guys. Did you know Arknights beat Genshin? Yes, I did! We beat Genshin in CN in terms of revenue because Silver Ash Ultra, and people are really horny for Silver Ash. Absinthe is goaded. Welcome in, Phantasm. Lovely to have you. I just slightly disagree. Oh, I'm so sorry, MM. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I missed what you said. You retracted it too quickly. Her mod puts her at the top. I will try out Marcial and Ablana once I can. Because I've only tried out Ablana without her module, and this is where I would rate her based off of that. I'm more solid on Ablana than Marcial. Marcial and Mantra, I have no clue about their kits. Ablana, I understand her kit, just not a module.
Paid card.
Thank you very much, Repton. That's very sweet of you. It would be on the fun list. Most characters in Solid would be SSS. Oh, absolutely. Like, 4 stars can be really fun because they do exactly one thing and very well. And no, thank you, Repton. That's very, very sweet. Reptron, sorry, I keep butchering your name. I have a Ablana mod 3 and M9 if you want to test her out. My friend list is full. Otherwise, I will. Thank you, though. But no, I'll try out her module. She is one of the ones I'm not 100% on. Same as Techno. Techno, I basically haven't used. From my understanding, Techno is bro what the fuck level bad. Am I correct with this? I have never once used Techno. My understanding is that she's every problem with Ablana, but none of the upsides. That is my understanding of Techno. I could be wrong, though. We usually beat Genshin during anniversaries, though. I remember Lappy beat Genshin. Yeah, but this was like a significant beat. Techno has abysmal stats. Yeah, her stats are really dog shit. AK beat Honkai for October. That's insane. And yes, gambling is enabled. If she gets going, she does a lot of damage, and she collects her summons for consistency. Yeah, but it's like, it's more a case of, Ablana is a discount Ling. Techno is a discount Magellan, is my understanding of it. I have a friend who swears by Techno, but he also swears by Absinthe. That just means he likes playing bad characters. This isn't... They can be good. Techno can be good once she's up and running. Just in the same way you can beat every stage in the game with Magellan and Maya. You just won't. Yes? Okay. Now, I've never used Techno. This is just my understanding. My understanding is that while Ablana is comparable to Ling, Techno is comparable to Magellan. Worse performance for just as much inconvenience. What is gamble? You just gamble 3 points. Oh, thank you for the hype train. I'm not sure what triggered that. I assume one of you resubbed. Thank you very much. Techno's great at stalling. Yeah, but they're also like Hoshiguma. I'd put her around lazy. Yeah, hard to say. Hard to say. I will put her at bad for now because I know her kit. Like, we all agree. Okay, look, we all agree she's below solid, yeah? We all agree she's on the spectrum of bad. It's just a case of where on the spectrum of bad is she. She's great for annihilations and swarms. Yeah, but if you're talking about swarms, you have to compete with Wishadel. I heard gambling. Yes, sir. You can now gamble your points. Techno's fun, but she's a niche you have to go out of your way for. That's what I was sort of trying to say with Magellan. Magellan's really fun, but she's not convenient to use. Even if she's good, it takes a lot of planning and effort. That's what I've heard about Techno as well. Next up, you might be thinking, South. Why is Mantra not in the top 5 when you only have 4 members? Hot take. Potentially cold take. And I stand by this. No fish? Holy shit, that was not intentional. Sorry, let me turn fishing back on. Techno below even more me Delphine. I have not used Techno. I've not used Techno. This is pure... She is the character I have the least understanding of what she does. I never once used Techno. Fuck, you mean hot take? Yeah, I corrected myself. This might be a cold take. So, now, in theory, according to the game, Reed the Flame Shadow is a healer. No, she isn't. Name one person here who has thought, you know what, I need to heal my allies. Let me bring Reed. They designed a caster and then just put her in the offensive medic archetype. That's it. She is just a caster. Reed's supposed to be a tier below. I'm not sure. Mantra could be better than her, but in my opinion. Reed is obviously one of the better casters. Yeah, like, people might not understand if you're slightly newer. Before Logos, Reed was the best source of arts damage in the game. Like, just default. There was no competition. So prior to Logos power creeping every caster, Reed basically did the same thing, just to a lesser degree. I use her for healing a lot, but only when I need a bit. Yeah, like, her healing is really good. It's just a side effect of the fact that she kills everything. She just takes the entire screen and deletes it, and then usually crashes your game. For a Blana, I mean? Oh, sorry, what's up, Shampoo? You still need the big summon not to prevent spawner summons. Yeah, but it does happen automatically. It does happen automatically. Reed S3 damage isn't that good. I disagree. Reed S3 damage isn't good until it kills one enemy, and then everything dies. My experience with Reed S3 is you'll think it's doing no damage until one enemy dies while it's afflicted by her debuff, and then 50 enemies explode, and the entire screen crashes, and everyone's dead. Welcome in, Skyliz! Reed is a caster with healing benefit, exactly. S2's better? Yeah, I just personally don't like her S2. I always use her S3. Her S2's also amazing. What's the vibe song from? This one is Magic Theorem. It is Dorothy's song. Here is a link for you. You S3 with Reed S3 gives true burn experience. Based. Reed the PC Destroyer. I do love that in Zula and Shuz event, Reed was very notable for being a PC check like Crisis. She just actually crashes your machine. The full Necrosis trio is very funny numbers. Yeah, I just haven't used them. Why is the Supporter Pram there? Because that is obviously Caster Pram. I just grabbed the wrong asset. Trust the process, Marshu. Especially with newer enemies. I do agree with that, but you do need to take into account, like, all the content of the game. Reed is good in IS. There have been a few events in a row she hasn't been good, but that doesn't make her bad. That just means there's been a few recent events. That's like saying Lapland's awful, because there's usually not many use cases for her silence. When there are use cases for her silence, Lapland solves the entire stage. When Reed's S3 can kill enemies or there's a swarm of... like, the reason they don't really do swarms of enemies anymore without some gimmick is because Reed would break it. Reed broke how the game was designed, similar to Weedy. Reed S3 always has a few moments where it finally goes off and you're unsure if it crashes the game. Exactly. I meant the Big Boy 7 can block off mobs from entering her range. Oh, I thought she was still able to hit her. I wasn't 100% sure of that. Be me, forget that Pram ult is a caster, performs summon. Oh, 7 Marshu. I've definitely done that before. Reed has fallen off extremely good. Not top 5. To be fair, I'm considering her versus Lyn and Golden Glow. In my opinion, she is better than either of those, because her niche is more generally useful. I cannot compare her to Mantra, because I don't know Mantra's kit. So if you think Mantra should be top 5, that's absolutely fine. In my opinion, I would take Reed over Lyn or Golden Glow, because she also has the side benefit of healing all of your units. but she's mainly there for arts damage. Ablana can, but enemies have to be deep inside our range to die. Ah, gotcha. Playing Reed and RA is prime device benchmark. Yeah, especially if you're on that really big mine map. Oh, thanks to the follow, Rhine. Lovely to have you. I wonder if Enfield's anti-goon mechanic affects the men. Oh, it's not actually an anti-goon mechanic. It is a tail-only mechanic. Ember does not give a shit if you stare directly at her ass. And if you stare at her tips, she'll glare at the camera, but then stand completely still. It is specifically just characters with tails. It is not a goon mechanic. Only thing Reed has issue with is where there's map gimmicks. Yeah, that's my opinion. In most cases, I take GG over Reed. I could kind of see that. It's just more a case of... Lapland is still usually better than GG. She still competes for that. But we can definitely agree that she... Okay, look. We can definitely agree that at worst she's here, right? At the very worst, we can handshake emoji that Reed... at the least generous interpretation, is still a better caster than Nymph and Aya. In my opinion. In my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. But, like, that is my experience with her kit. Nah, def lower than Ablana. Ablana, you could rank higher, but again, Ablana's really inconvenient. Ablana is super inconvenient. She can be very strong, but she's not convenient. It's the same reason I would rank Lapland over Logos. Lapland is ridiculously convenient to use, even more so than Logos, so she's better. She does the same thing, and it's easier on the player. That is my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine, though. Just make it work on Wolfguard. I want to get told off. Nah, Wolfguard would be fine with that. He's very hot. Does it affect the men? Not sure. I haven't been playing around with it much. I mainly stare at Ember's ass. I mean, play the game. Counterpoint. Oh, no! My PC! Why is Sneck there? Don't worry about it. Now, Lucky Lost. It would not be a caster tier list without everybody's favorite caster. You know her, you love her. The definitive caster. Wishadel. One-handed gameplay with Ember? Bro, like, not literally, but metaphorically, yes. It is unironically... I've been so much more productive since Enfield came out because I have like a weird delusion of, man, if I found someone as hot as Ember IRL, I would want to look good so I could hit on her. I know it's cringe and embarrassing, but it is what it is. So I've been much better about exercising, cooking, and eating better. So not literally one-handed gameplay, but metaphorically, yes. That's some insane cope. Oh, absolutely. At the end of the day, Wishadel will always win. Hell yeah. Now, in terms of arts damage, here's the fucked up thing. As a caster, in my opinion, Wishadel is between Indigo and Phantom. She applies very regular slows and very good damage. And she summons 3 Phalanx casters. So, in my opinion, Wishadel is a very solid above-average caster. Even assuming she never fires a shot herself, just her summons. Did you call Piss Ginger Phantom? You know what I meant.
Did you just call Piss Ginger
Wishadel summons deal arts damage? Yeah. How is Wishadel really that different from a Phalanx caster? After a long duration, she does a little bit of arts damage while drawing enemy attacks. Look me in the eyes. How is she that different from a Phalanx caster? Will you make sniper tier list with Eku, Alta, and Ella? No, they're not snipers. What do you want about? You can't just ask me to randomly put characters into different class tier lists. That's so fucked up. I would never do that. How, like, this is about integrity. This is pure integrity. I would never sully the most sacred and accurate of tier lists with such a disgraceful display. Guards when? I'm working up the list. So I started at specialists, then supporters, then medics, then casters. I'm working my way up. She's different because she deals so much damage. Exactly. Isn't Shuriyuki a caster? No, she's a sniper. She costs sniper chips. What's wrong with you? What if I give you $1.50 for Ekuelta? Of course Ekuelta's a sniper. What are you talking about? When for supporter? I'm pretty sure we've already done supporters. Yeah, we already did supporters, Monster. We remember what you did to Lumen? What are you talking about? Waiting until you figure out Wishadel's a guard? Why? Wishadel's not a guard. She doesn't block enemies. Ella best Lord Guard? So true. Now, briefly... Thanks to the sub. Lovely to have you, Medic. What a based name. Incredibly based. Physical damage so high it became true damage? Absolutely. Now, very briefly, let me put the Snex back where she belongs. So I can screenshot this. And so if anyone disagrees in the Discord, you're welcome to argue with me. Let me just take an objective screenshot of the actual tier list. There we go. There we go. And now that's out of the way, we can put Holyak in a rightful place. She's a liberated god. So true! When you really think about it, isn't Wishadel just a liberator guard who, instead of gaining block, turns into an Ascalon type? Like, think about it. She goes from having 0 block to having 0 block and nuking enemies. Is that dragon character the same one as Enfield? Which dragon? Do you mean Reed? No. There is no Reed XP in Enfield so far. Apologies, I'm not 100% sure. Duran Solo's R6S stages top 5. So true. 12F? In Bro What the Fuck? Oh, this guy? Yes. It's the same guy. This is the same guy in Enfield. Same as Warfarin from the Medics. She is also in Enfield. As is Calzy, but that's a weird one. South, she still has 1 block, not if she's on a range tile, she doesn't. It's, you know how a lot of guards, like, especially Palace, Archetype, Instructor guards, they needed a module to be able to deploy on range tiles. Wishadel got that baked into her kit. Isn't that amazing? Do we have info about Aurora and Snowshine? They are both clones. Snowshine is a clone of Aurora. She is not the actual Aurora. Surta is actually Levitane. Snowshine is a clone. That brief moment that felt like an eternity. How about to make up for it, then? Let's make up for it. Let's talk about Holyak. I love how you lie so easy. I've never once told a lie in my entire life. How dare you slander me like that? Name one time I've ever made shit up and lied. That's fucked up. Also, man, like, look. I really do not like to use this. I think this is massively overused. The term submissive and breedable is usually so cringe in anime. But I cannot think of another word to better describe Holyak than breedable. What the fuck were they thinking with this design? Bro! This somehow feels more not safe for work than a character being basically naked. Submissive not at all? No. She is not submissive. I'm just talking about the second half. Thinking with their dicks? Yeah, exactly. It's just... She's got the exact same personality as Virtuosa, except instead of being thin and lithe, it's just a MILF. Gotta go preparing a late dinner. Thanks for coming, Ruling! Lovely to have you. Hope you have a great day. She looks like so fitting for Chaos Hero Nightmare. Wasn't that the one where they started trying to save the game by actually just making porn? Then they made her bad? I know, it's so fucking insulting. I really wanted Holyak to be good, but she's just not. She's just really not. It's so cringe how bad they made her. Is that a bit of dust or a spider? I think it's a bit of dust. That's fine. I'll whack it later on. Not yet, it's just a month from release. Oh, gotcha. No. Okay. So I think the ones that I'm not sure of, Mantra, Ablana, and Marcial, and then also, to be fair, Techno and Indigo. So that is 6 characters I'm not 100% positive of. Everyone else, I'm pretty happy. A child of Ho-Ho and Doctor would have issues, yeah. My favorite, by the way, fun little lore drop about Arknights. Holyak pretty explicitly states that she will not be considering your consent. And she is going to have your kids regardless of that. I was very surprised they put that in the game. I was pretty surprised. Her new skin is probably top 10. Yeah, and I'm just glad she finally has a face that isn't fucked up. Because that was why I didn't like her previous skin. Her face felt like the exaggerated Black Swan meme where... never mind. You know the one I'm talking about, or you don't know the one I'm talking about. It's fine. I don't know why your not safe work is so much better than some Discords. What can I say? The chat reflects the streamer. I've got good taste. Oh, 07 Dave. Rip all of your points. That's tragic. Don't let it crazy on your D. Look, I'm gonna be so real. You know, let me ask. I can't poll YouTube because they already have a poll. Let me real quick poll Twitch chat. Holyak. Hol. Yes or no? Do I need to give any more context? Do I need to give more context? Because they always talk about the hot, crazy Matrix. I feel like she's pretty high up there on the hot Matrix. I'ma be so dead ass. I think she is absolutely hot enough to make up for her crazy. Yes, yes, yeah. You can vote along in YouTube chat by just saying yes or no. You don't have a literal poll. Also, it looks like 65% of people went for Monster, and everybody else went for Priestess. That was closer than I thought it would be. I thought a lot of more people would go for Monster. I love both of them, but a lot of people hate Priestess. I will say yes, though. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yes, based. Do you mean consent? Yes? Yes, consent, yes. If you were suddenly isekai'd into the world of Arknights as the Doctor, and Holhyak was the first one to find you, that's the situation we're talking about. Ambient Symphasia has some weird anatomy, you're right, yeah. I can ignore weird anatomy except for the face, which is what was so painful about Greythroat's E2 for me. 4 no's must be either gay or straight women. No, there are also just some people who aren't into that. It's not 100% of the population, it's just like a super majority. This is... Look, let me put it to you this way. I was surprised when people were as down bad for Virtuosa as they were. I was not surprised when people were down as bad for Holhyak as they were. Virtuosa, I expected people to be down bad. I didn't expect as many people to be down bad. Holhyak, yeah, this lines up with my expectations. Imagine if we encounter a descendant of Ho-Oh. If only, if only. Pardon, but which Limbus OST is this? This is Railway Refraction 5. There you go, sir. Got you, got you. Hi, South, I'm kind of late, but I'll just watch the VOD later. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Sol. You've joined basically right as I'm ending. Alrighty! Thank you all so much for coming. If you haven't already, please consider liking the YouTube stream. It really helps me out massively. And also cast any last votes for Monster vs. Priestess while you're there. The Magic Fish declares South is bald. I see, I see. I'm bald then. You got me. What am I gonna do about it? Call me bald as I say goodbye. Outside of that, thank you so much for coming, everybody. It was lovely to have you. South is bald, weighing 77,000 kilograms. Why am I so fat? Gotcha. Understood. Have dinner? Don't worry. I will be exercising after this and eating dinner. So, thank you all so much for coming, everybody. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. YouTube, you're not missing anything. I'm just gonna go see if someone else is live for me to raid on Twitch. But thank you so much for coming. Please do consider liking the stream if you enjoyed it. It really does help. I know it's silly, I know it's cringe, but it means a lot to me. We'll call you a liar. You're very welcome to. Who's the top 5? Lapland, Praminix Alter, Logos, KB, and Read the Flame Shadow, in my opinion. Alrighty, catch you around YouTube. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.